/free.
ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Here's what's happening. Quarterback Josh Allen leads the Bills in the NFL's highest scoring offense into a Monday Night Football matchup against the Titans tonight. For Tennessee offensively, it can't mainly rely on just running back Derrick Henry. It needs to utilize receivers A.J. Brown and Julio Jones, too, advises Monday Night Football analyst Brian Griese.
They are Greek gods from a body standpoint. Their size, 220-plus pounds, each of them. They are going to be a problem because they're going to get man-to-man coverage from the Bills. Now, we know Tre'Davious White, an excellent, one of the best corners in the league. Levi Wallace on the other side. There should be some fireworks in the passing game if the Titans are going to stay in this one.
Monday Night Football, 8 Eastern, ESPN TV. Browns running back Kareem Hunt out several weeks with a calf injury, according to coach Kevin Stefanski. He started yesterday in place of the injured Nick Chubb. Chubb could return from his injured calf Thursday against the Broncos. Quarterback Baker Mayfield, meantime, undergoing an MRI after aggravating an injury to his non-throwing shoulder. NBA news from ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. Forward Jaren Jackson, a cornerstone of the Grizzlies roster, agreeing to a 4-year, $105 million rookie contract extension. NHL Lightning coach John Cooper says star Nikita Kucherov's lower body injury expected to keep him out a significant amount of time. Baseball ALCS Game 3 tonight, Astros Red Sox, 7:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine Studios. This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
I get maybe on paper the Dolphins have the better team, but they're missing some big components.
No
Parker's
way.
out. Howard's out.
No
Like,
way.
if this is the game to win, this should be the game to win for the Jaguars. Give me the Dolphins.
Waddle, and he's got the touchdown. A great strike by Tagovailoa. It's a 6-yard touchdown throw, and the Dolphins score on their first possession. And Logan Cook again. He'll boot this one. And deep back is Waddle. And it's going to be a poor punt that goes out of bounds in Jacksonville territory.
Not again. The night is darkest just before the dawn.
It is there. The pass is long to the end zone. It's caught by Marvin Jones. He beat Igbenogany, a 28-yard strike and a touchdown pass.
Wait a second.
First and goal. Robinson gets the block by Hollister. Touchdown, Jacksonville. They've got their first lead this afternoon.
Give me the Jags.
Oh, wow.
Tua winds up. Intercepted. Picked off by Nevin Lawson. He'll weave, and they take it right back and brought down by Hollins. Wright will try from 54 to tie. 54-yarder. Nope. And got it! Got it! How about that?
Holy crap. I told you where I was leaning all week long, and I'm going to get 3.5 points on this as well. I think the Jags win outright here.
53-yarder to win it. It's away, and he got it! He got it! Jacksonville wins and ends the second longest losing streak in NFL history. Wait! He did it!
Oh, man.
That's Casey Kurtz, everybody. How about that?
Nicely done, Casey.
Man,
I would
gosh,
say-
have you slept the last 24 hours?
Do I dare
How
say
long
your
did
best
that
work
take?
ever?
Happiest work ever.
It's up there for sure.
Yes,
For sure.
We put a smile on your face. That's a good thing. Well done. Well done. That's awesome. Happy Victory Monday, everybody.
Yeah.
First one in 400 days here in Jacksonville. You've earned it. Give us a call, 904-362-9901. Where were you? What was your reaction? How you doing? Just let's call this a 3-hour parade. We're not going to actually parade in the streets, but it's a 3-hour parade here at Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. You've earned it. The Jags earned it. We earned it. It's here. Sure, there was a myriad of things that could have gone wrong and did go wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But they all get squashed. by a win.
They do, and it's amazing how much a win can cover up. And I don't even care about the defense. You know, and Mike Gesicki, don't even care how much complaining Mike Gesicki was doing. At the end of the day, you're hoisting a W, and it was well needed. It was. I mean, do I dare say well deserved? And I'm not gonna say even deserved. I think they earned it. You know, a few things happened. I really don't care. I'm just happy that they finally got a win, Brent, because it's been a long time coming.
Yeah, they made a couple plays when they needed to make plays, and they had made some losing plays in the game, but there were a lot of those back and forth, and they made more than Miami. I mean, that's really all you have to do. You don't have to be better than the Rams when you play the Dolphins, okay? I mean, you got to be better than the Dolphins, and the Dolphins were bad at times. The Jags were bad at times. Jags were good at times. Dolphins were good early, not really much the rest of the way. So that's what happens, and Jags have been right there with some teams, you know, with some good teams, too, along this streak, and just couldn't make these kind of plays, or the other team made more than them. And that's the way it goes. It's really wild. We're stacking the show yesterday, watching the game, and at halftime, so my theme of last night's Action Sports Shacks primetime at halftime was, well, you might have lost 21 games in a row if ... Okay. And I had 9 things now listed down after the first half.
Eesh.
Like 9. Like the punt, the taunting, the 3rd and 9 to start the game where Josh Allen's like all over Tua and they complete the pass for 9 anyway. You name it, you know? And then we just delete by the end of the game because it's like, well, nobody cares about that stuff. When you win, you hide that. And again, they made some critical plays down the stretch. The big 4th down stop, obviously the 4th and 8, and calling timeout and executing that play, and then a couple of kicks, which they've had a major kicking problem during this 20-loss streak for the Jags, and they figured that out on a day in London along the way. So, hey, it's awesome. Good for I really do feel good for a lot of those. But I mean, you see the video of Josh Allen running around like a little kid.
For sure.
I mean, Josh Allen, he loves this place. You can tell. He likes being in Jacksonville. He has said it. I think he wears it. And I think for a guy like that, who's been a nice ambassador even through this losing streak, to see him exhale a little bit, I think it's cool. Like, I feel for the players in that. We've been hammering those guys for 400 days. We really have. And by the way, they earned a lot of that. So it was a nice afternoon for them.
Well, and it's, you know, as far as that defense is concerned with Josh Allen, you know, I can sit here and nitpick what happened in the first half, but at the end of the day, it's how you finish. And you bent, but you didn't break, because those last 2 series on the Jaguars defense, they came up huge when they had to. Whether it was you know, creating a turnover like they did. Now, thank you, Tua. Appreciate that interception.
Was that a bad throw?
Yeah, or whether it was, you know, the 4th and 1 stop on Malcolm Brown. I mean, they came up big when they had to, and that was great to see, because we've seen time and time again with this team more of the same. And I'm not going to lie. When it was 4th and 1, Malcolm Brown getting the ball, I'm like, oh, first down, they're going to drive, score, and that's going to be the game. And that wasn't the case. And you saw something different. And then when Matthew Wright had his opportunity, I'm going to be like, there's no way this is going to go in, because this is the Jaguars. And, of course, they've had kicking, you know, conundrums now the past 2 years. There is no way this is going to go in, because that would be too perfect. Well, it goes in. So, like, for the first time in a long time, it wasn't the same old Jags. Like, this looked different. This felt different. And obviously getting the W is the most important thing.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, it's a 1-week thing. Really, it's a 2-week thing. I said, you know, I think it's important going into the bye week like this stuff. So, and have a good feeling around here, a good feeling around town. It was a nice Sunday for everybody in Jacksonville. I mean, the reactions from all around the city that people recorded are really cool. And by the way, it's all around the globe, not just the city, but a lot of the reactions in Jacksonville, from Urban Meyer's wife and daughter to anybody who was at an establishment. That's cool. You know, that's fun. It shows you what Sundays mean, too. And I think that does show you what the Jags mean to a lot of people. And a lot of people have stuck through this and had to live with this and wear this, because it's tough being a Jags fan sometimes. It's tough being a Jags player sometimes. It's tough being a part of the Jags organization sometimes. And they get to all exhale, which is really cool, from the social media team to the staff to everybody else. So I like that. You know, a couple of hidden things. You talk about the defense. When Urban Meyer makes what I believe is a mistake, and we'll talk about it, but the mistake of not putting points on the board and going up a touchdown, the Jags defense then allows a touchdown. And I tweeted at that time, I was like, well, Trevor's going to have to save Urban here again. You know, I mean, it kind of feels like that coming out of what happened the last couple of weeks ago. We kind of said, hey, Trevor can kind of save him, get a win, right? Trevor is kind of the good right here in Jacksonville right now. We'll keep propping him up. But I was kind of raw. Trevor did do a couple of things, and Matthew Wright did some things, but I really think the defense actually saved Urban. They didn't in the next 5 minutes, but after that, they did. I mean, they made some stops, and hidden in all of this is that as bad as the defense has been, and it's been bad, and it's really not like good, I wouldn't say. But Miami scored on 3 of the first 4 possessions, and I looked this up yesterday when we were talking about it on our TV show, and I said, 1 out of the last 7 possessions they were able to score. 1 out of 7. You know, again, Tua did some of that, but the Jags made critical stops. They forced punts. I mean, there were like 3 punts on 4th and 1 alone. Gesicki reached the ball over 2 different times that if they reviewed it, it looked like it was going to be really close. It was a tough play to review. But the defense did just enough to kind of hold that rope and give the offense and Matthew Wright and the Jags a chance to salvage that game. So the defense, outside of the interception and the 4th and 1 stop, I don't think looked like any sexy kind of plays, you know?
Yeah.
But they did a good enough job. Like, everybody keeps throwing that number of 24 games in a row with 20 points. And, like, nobody in the modern era has done that. That's how bad it's been. But to be honest with you, if you can keep a team to 20 points in the NFL, you're doing a hell of a job, especially this day and age.
No, absolutely. And, yeah, you know, in talking about the defense here, you know, if you look at Tua's numbers, he had a pretty good day. I mean, when you go 33 for 47, 329 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, like, I'm not going to lie, I thought the game plan in the first half was to have him throw it as much as possible and gain his confidence so then he could hurt his ribs and, like, because he's so tired of throwing the ball nonstop. Like, I thought that was actually the game plan because he was just letting it rip because, as he should have, you know, the Jaguars are having a rough time stopping it. But at the end of the day, and yeah, Mike Gesicki had a day. Now, he cried a little bit, but he had a day. Jalen Waddle kind of had a coming-out party, if you will, 2 touchdowns and everything. But once again, you bent, but you didn't break, and you still rest on what you do well in your identity, and that's stopping the run. And I think for the most point, you know, I mean, under 100 yards rushing once again for the Miami Dolphins. Now, they're not really a big rushing team, but nevertheless, you still stayed by your identity and what you do well, and they did that. I think it helped them when the game was the most important in stopping that 4th and 1.
All right, so what does it mean? The Jags win. They're 1-5. They get off the schneid. We don't have to talk about 399 days. And, I mean, gosh, these numbers were just, like, ingrained in my mind. Like, I didn't even have to look at the calendar anymore. I knew the numbers so well. We said them 400 times a day. And so the Jags don't have to worry about that. Listen, we all don't believe this is a team that's going to now make a run and go on this winning streak. Nobody does, I don't think. I think Trevor Lawrence in London put it perfectly on Friday. He said, whatever happens these next 12 games, we're going to get this thing going around here. Well, did yesterday help get it going? Did it help turn it at least a little bit to now where, you know, you got 11 games left and the Jags win 4 games? You know, again, they're still not a 6-5 team over 11. Let's be honest with ourselves. And they have a tough schedule at times. But can they squeak out 4 wins and end up 5-12 on the year, which wouldn't be that far off what people thought? I mean, is that a realistic thing now? Do you feel that way that the Jags have been in close games, but now they figured out how to win one? Maybe that snowballs a bit.
Yeah, you know, I mean, obviously they have this week off, and then, you know, you go through the bye week. Traveling to Seattle is going to be tough.
Yeah, it's
traveling to the West Coast, but that's the thing, though. The past showings have said, okay, it's tough. It's hard to win on the West Coast. They always have trouble. Well, this could be a new team. They could surprise you here. I'm not ready to say Jaguars are going to go to Seattle and beat them, but I'm saying if you want to keep proving to yourselves that you're not the old Jaguars, that just this one game in London where, you know, the Dolphins aren't the best team in the NFL. I don't want to call it a fluke by any means because you earned that win, but if you want to improve off that and show that, hey, we're making progress and we're ready to roll, well, then a good game against Seattle is going to do that as well, even if they're missing Russell Wilson.
There were some people, I think, that really thought, coming off, say, the Tennessee game and an 0-5 start, that they wouldn't win a game. Like, I think they really – and by the way, they had lost 20 in a row. So, I mean, I think for those of you that thought that, like, fair. I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I never really thought that. I think they would find – this feels like – this felt like that first Gus Bradley team, but way more talented. Like, where it was 0-8, historically bad, things were ugly, and they won 4 out of 5 at one time. And I'm telling you, folks, go back. I will always say this: go look at that roster. It was not a good roster, and the Jags found a way to win 4 out of 5 because that's the nature of the NFL. Not to win 4 out of 5, but you'll find a couple of W's. I mean, it was tough for the Jags to go 1-15 last year.
Yes.
Like, it's hard to do that. So I kind of felt like maybe you look at the last 4 games of the year for the Jags. Like, I think there's no doubt, even if they didn't win this game Sunday, they'd win a couple of those games. I think they'd still be searching for those wins. I think they'd try. This 7-game stretch, I think, was tough, but you'd have an Atlanta team that's not as good as you thought it could be, or I thought it could be. Tennessee's, they're okay. Seattle doesn't have Russell Wilson. So now you can
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis you always match up with.
Yeah.
Can you now talk yourself into, maybe they can win a handful of games this year as they continue to get better? Because I'll tell you this. With all the Urban stuff, and I still don't know where the Urban stuff's going to land. And I think he deserves a lot of criticism.
Well, and thank God they won, because if they didn't win,
we'd be talking about that.
And
we will, but he deserves a lot. But somewhere along the way, whether it's Urban or Charlie Strong or the staff or the players, he hasn't lost them. Like, this team continues to really play hard and is energized and excited to play football every Sunday. Like, you saw that at the end of that game. I mean, that was a playful bunch of grown men, giddy bunch of grown men to win. That shows me that these guys are going to play and scratch and claw. And somewhere along the way, you got to give the coaching staff some credit for that. I also say their quarterback continues to get better and better and experience different things, but not take a huge step back. Like, the coaches have to be somewhat responsible for that. I think Trevor's a gifted guy, and he's a special guy, but they have to have some credit for that. So there's some good things going on here that at least what happened 2 or 3 weeks ago didn't derail what that locker room is trying to accomplish in turning this thing around. I think that's a positive sign. Yeah,
I think the ultimate telling thing was the fact of, when they're celebrating and players went up to Urban, hugged him, gave him high fives. So, it all felt like a team there, right? So usually in those situations, if you win a game and all these emotions are going through, you still hold it out like, I'm not going to give that guy a high five because, forget him. You don't get that sense at all. I don't think Urban Meyer...
not in spite of him, right?
No, for sure. So I don't think Urban has lost that locker room by any means. Now, we definitely questioned it. I questioned it because... everything that transpired and getting asked the same questions every single day that aren't football related, I think that would drive any player a little insane. But this win came at the most opportune time, though, because now you get to go on that bye week. Now you get to rest up. You know what winning feels like. You want that taste again. Okay, hopefully it's contagious, and that inspires you to work a little harder now, because once you get that taste of victory, it justifies everything. And I think that was the biggest problem for this team this year, is everything being justified. Like, you want to say, we're going to keep on working, that's great. But when you're 0-4 and you're going to work every single day, it's not easy, because you start questioning, is what we are doing right? Should I really buy wholeheartedly into what these coaches are giving me? Because, there's not success on the field. And that game against Miami, that justifies everything, and that gets things rolling.
Yeah, listen. As Matt just says on the YouTube channel, Jags got lucky against a bad Dolphins team.
Without a doubt.
They did. I mean, I thought Brian Flores coached a terrible game. He made mistakes. The Dolphins are not very good. We were right about that, right? They're just not very good.
And I don't think.
And they're playing without 5 of their players too.
He had a good game.
And Tua played well, but really after those first few drives, they got a little stagnant as well. So they're not great. But and we know the Jags aren't great, but the Jags found a way to beat a team. I mean, the Jags have played some crappy teams over the last 20 games of this losing streak and still not able to find a win. I mean, Houston's awful.
Yeah.
It has proved out that Houston's a terrible team. Now, Houston, ironically, played their best 6 quarters of the year in the first 2 games of the year.
Seems like it.
Right? Well, but the Jags contributed to that, too.
Yeah.
Because they were so bad in that game. I mean, the Jags were flat out bad in that game. But, listen, they made some plays. The Jags have also shown signs of things moving in a positive direction without W's up until this point. So now, to what you say, you validate a thing or two. I mean, how about Matthew Wright's story? The software engineer stuff, you've seen the quote, right, from Trevor. And for this guy to come in here and, quite frankly, you wonder if he can make it 54 yards on a kick. And it's a fair curiosity because he barely did. I mean, the Harlan call was awesome. He called it good.
I thought he shanked it as well. Here we go. I'm like,
How did that tuck in?
No idea.
It's almost like the Jags finally got the wind to blow in the right direction.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yep. And then he makes it. He really crushed that one. I mean, that was true. That was good. Yeah. The last one. So under the pressure of it, maybe they found their kicker. But just some nice vibe. Hey, listen, the moral of today is there's some good vibes in Jacksonville, and people have waited a long time for that to happen. And the good vibes should continue for a couple of reasons. Guys like James Robinson, guys like Trevor Lawrence, those guys are playing well. There's a lot of questions on this team, no doubt. The win does not change a lot of the question marks.
No, definitely not. It doesn't change the question marks, but it does a good job covering them.
It does.
It really does.
For a couple of weeks.
I think right now, still, like we talk about all the time, the identity of the defense, we know what it is. The offense is still this evolving thing. Now, some of that has to do with injuries, and I understand that, but now all of a sudden, Jamal Agnew seems like he's like your go-to receiver on top of Marvin Jones, and Laviska Shenault has kind of fallen out of favor, it seems like, a little bit.
Yeah, that's interesting, right? I thought Marvin was spectacular. Like, what you bring Marvin Jones in to do is what he did. Make a veteran play when you need a play made. The touchdown catch was huge, but he made other catches that were huge and didn't drop the ball. I mean, Laviska dropped the ball a couple times, and again, they weren't easy plays.
Sure. I mean, he still had 6 catches for 54 yards.
I think Laviska is still very much a part of this thing.
Yeah.
I don't think they've slept on him, but I think Laviska also is not going to be a featured guy. I think we know that by now. So I think getting Marvin Jones in at 7 and 100 yards, 7 catches, 100 yards, and a couple big plays. And when you needed a back shoulder play, who'd you go to? Marvin Jones, right? Yeah. When you needed to play in the end zone and go make a play on a very good throw, but a very good catch, it's Marvin Jones. Like, that's what they brought him in to do. You hoped you had DJ Chark to do that as well in blossoming in year 4, but unfortunately he's hurt. But I agree with you. It's a little hard to know exactly what the Jags are. I will say this, though. They've been pretty balanced. Miami stacked the box, shut down the run, and even still, they felt like they ran it enough to me.
So 41 pass attempts, 19 rushes.
Yeah. Well, total. I know that doesn't say balanced. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah,
but I feel like the run was – it was six carries and 18 yards in the first half, and I was like, crap, Bevel's going to give up on it.
Sure.
He's going to give up on it. And he didn't. He got him how many touches? That would be 11 touches then in the second half.
11 touches, and Robinson finished off overall as a 4.3 per clip, which isn't bad.
And he had the one big run, and he actually had another big run that would have put him over 100 yards, and that play had nothing. That was a face mask play that didn't even allow the hole to happen.
Yeah.
Remember that play, right?
Yep.
So, again, I think there's some good stories with their offense. The problem is, if you go back through the first 6 games, they have left a ton of points on the board. A ton, and Urban contributed to that yesterday. Let's talk more about that play and this Jags win, of course. We'll keep it on the positive end of things as we can, because there's a lot to like with Trevor, James Robinson, Marvin Jones. This defense came up big when it had to. Again, against an offense that's really not that good. We get it. But they also allowed Tua to look like Joe Montana on the first drive.
They did.
And they made some – I want to know from you, did they make adjustments? And is that why they went from scoring on 3 out of the first 4 possessions to 1 on their last 7? Or was it stinky Miami play, better defensive play, or was it a schematic adjustment thing that Joe Cullen did? Because it obviously changed. The production was different. First 4 drives versus the last 7 of the Miami Dolphins gave the Jags a chance to win, and they got it done. It's a victory Monday here in Jacksonville. Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690. Phone lines open. Where were you? How do you feel about it? 904-362-9901.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690.
Today, partly to mostly sunny with increasing high-level clouds through the afternoon hours with temperatures in the upper 70s. From the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Alyssa Pedje.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. Don't miss Beards BOGO Wedding Band Sale happening now through October 24th.
ESPN 690 is hitting the road, and this Wednesday we'll be live broadcasting from J-Tech at 8813 Western Way near Bay Meadows and 95. Stop by and come say what's up and take a tour of the campus and see what life at J-Tech is really like. We'll see you Wednesday.
I love football, and I love chicken wings. Hey, everybody, this is Brent Martineau. We are a lot alike, right? You love football, and you love wings. Let's win the week with Extreme Wings Sports Grill. 4 locations in Jacksonville, Atlantic Boulevard, Ocean Way, 210 in St. Johns County, and the new location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax, serving up the freshest, never frozen, world-famous extreme hot wings to Jacksonville since 1999. We like football. We like wings. We love a good deal. To celebrate the grand opening of the Extreme Wings Roosevelt location, get 6 wings, french fries, and a drink for just $12.99 at the Roosevelt location. 6 wings, french fries, and a drink, just $12.99. Active military gets special discounts. Jalapeno ranch, Caribbean jerk, spicy blue cheese, lemon pepper. So many flavors to choose from. And, of course, they can make them extreme if you want. Plenty of space at Extreme Wing Sports Grill locations. If you're looking for a place for the entire team, try Extreme Wing Sports Grill. I love it. You'll love it. 4 locations in Jacksonville, including Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax. Temperatures keep climbing, and hotter weather means your body needs more water. Stay hydrated. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure the water you and your family drink is cleaner, healthier, and tastes great. It starts with the Connecticut system, proudly made in America and installed by the pros CGC Water. Not sure about your water? Call CGC. They'll analyze your water for free. I haven't had to worry about my water since I got mine installed because Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of the contaminants. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, non-electric twin tanks that use less salt and water during regeneration. Save up to $500 on select softener and RO systems this month. Financing available with approved credit. Call CGC Water at 904-552-1242. Call and ask about Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Tell them Brent sent you and find out all the details and all the great ways you can save. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com, your local independent Connecticut dealer.
The Center for Health and Sports Medicine delivers an individualized 360-degree approach to your health, providing a whole-person approach to primary care and sports medicine. With primary care and sports medicine physicians, mental health counselors, the Sports Performance Lab, and 24/7 on-site state-of-the-art wellness center, all under one roof, they'll work to maximize your health by creating a foundational focus on physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional well-being. The MD VIP program provides even more benefits, like appointment guarantees and after-hour care. Learn more at jacksfamilysportsmed.com.
Can health insurance be a doorway to a healthier life? To yoga classes? To nutrition classes? To nurses you don't need an appointment to see? Or even community specialists who give you access to helpful resources? It can. Our Florida Blue Centers offer all that and a whole lot more. All you have to do is walk through the door. What else can health insurance do? Find out at floridablue.com. Florida Blue, your local Blue Cross Blue Shield. Florida Blue is a trade name of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Florida, Inc.
Beards Diamonds has been busy this fall, getting their showcases ready for the largest inventory of wedding bands in North Florida.
So if you're getting married soon or want to upgrade your bands, don't miss Beards Diamonds' incredible buy one, get one wedding band sale.
But hurry, it ends this Sunday at Beards Diamonds.
All wedding bands are buy one, get one free. Save thousands.
Plus, all stackables, all right-hand rings, all eternity bands, and more are buy one, get one free.
See hundreds of the latest styles from famous designers at beardsdiamonds.com.
It's the largest selection of wedding bands in North Florida at the guaranteed lowest price.
Couples wait for this sale all year.
Buy any wedding band and get the other band free.
Now you can go bigger and better with the band she's always dreamed of during Beard's Buy One, Get One sale. But hurry, it ends this Sunday.
Get the lowest prices in Jacksonville, guaranteed, at Beards Diamonds.
At the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
Gator Bowl Young Professionals are hosting a networking social at Hyperion Brewing on Wednesday, October 27th at 5:30 p.m. Kickoff Florida-Georgia weekend. We are raffling off tickets to the Florida-Georgia game, plus your first drinks on us when you RSVP at TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com.
What's up? It's Casey of Action Sports Jackson. After you listen to us from 3 to 6 today, listen to Monday Night Football as Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills travel to Tennessee to take on King Henry and the Tennessee Titans. Coverage starts at 7:30 right here on ESPN 690.
Someone asked me last week if we're desperate for a win. We are desperate for a win, and we came close a few times, and there was a lot of things to fix, but you saw a young quarterback make a big-time play at the biggest time of the game, and then a young kicker that we just signed a couple weeks ago popped 2 50-plus yarders, so it was a great win.
Well, that is Urban Meyer, and it was a good – listen, any win right now is a great win. Like I said, I know there's probably a segment of folks that it's a beautiful day in Jacksonville. It's a home game. It should have been here in Jacksonville, all that stuff. I think even that population is like, who cares? We won.
Yeah,
right.
For sure.
I mean, I think like at least they won. I don't care if they won on Mars, right? At least they won. So I get it. I get the sentiment, but they won. And by the way, these guys embraced London. I didn't think an Urban Meyer team would do that. I don't know if Urban Meyer technically did, but the players seem to embrace London. I mean, they kind of enjoyed it going over there. At least that's what they said. I mean, I wasn't over there with them. So, but they said all the right things and, like, can't wait to come back. And it's almost like you can look at that trip in two ways and be like, oh, my gosh, we're going to fly over here and play a football game. Or you can be like, hey, this is kind of cool. I've never done this. And Trevor Lawrence, again, kind of leading the way. I've been out of the country one other time. Cabo, I think he said, right? Yeah. Which isn't that far out of the country. Yeah. And so he embraced it. The players kind of embrace it. And that's good for your psyche and your mentality. And I think maybe that helped at the end of the day when they get their first win. And by the way, Trevor Lawrence becomes the first rookie quarterback to win in London. Rookies had been 0-5 prior to that. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Casey Kurtz. If you missed Casey's work on his open to the show today, we're going to do it again at 5 o'clock, so you can hear it again. Got to get some run out of that, man. A lot of work went into that thing.
You should make an NFT out of it, Casey.
You can see in our commercial break, too, if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, that we put Jags Report live promotion in there for tonight, 7 o'clock on Fox 30. But James Robinson will join us at Sneakers, so come on out to Sneakers. James Robinson will be there 7 to 7:30, and we have Jags Report live. If you can't make it, you can watch on Fox 37 until 7:30. And again, we've done seriously over 200 shows between radio and TV over the last 400 days talking about losses. Mm-hmm. So don't mind us if we have a little fun here in Jacksonville talking about a W. It did feel like probably for other organizations, yesterday's reaction after felt more January, February kind of.
No, this was the Super Bowl. Yeah, that's all you have. Sorry.
No doubt. Hey, Andy Loosemore is a buddy who's been, I should say a buddy. We haven't really met him, but he listens to the show a lot, so we appreciate that from Andy from across the pond. Mm-hmm. He listens, and he went to the game yesterday.
Nice.
And he said, great to be there and see it. However, there are still many issues to be fixed. The win against a poor Miami team will help confidence and belief. My overwhelming feeling was, how on earth did we win that? Not going to watch it back and catch you guys on the podcast tomorrow is what he said. He always listens to the podcast. You can subscribe as well, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. And, yeah, the Jags did a lot of things wrong. Flores at the end did a lot of things wrong, a couple of challenges that I never thought he would win. He tried, lost some timeouts because of it. But let's talk about the end of the game scenario, because that's where the fun is. And to me, this whole game, the whole thing that's flipped is the fourth downs. Yes. The script changed. We go back and visit 2 weeks ago in Cincinnati, 4th and inches. They don't get in. They could have gone up 21-0. And I think a lot of people believe if they go up 21-0, they win that game. I mean, Jags have been bad, but come on. That's 21-0. It's totally different than it was 14-0. Momentum stopped, and then Cincinnati came out of the gates with the ball, and then they got rolling. It really changed the momentum going into halftime. Well, then here last week against Tennessee. Now, Jags are in comeback mode. I'm not saying they win the game, but they certainly had all the momentum, and they had 10, 11 minutes to go in the game. 4th and inches again. James Robinson not even in the game on 7 plays in the sequence, and they don't get in on 4th down after it looked like Trevor had gotten in on 3rd down. And so, huge points off the board. 14 points in 2 weeks, and maybe game-changing kind of points. Then, Urban Meyer, 4th and 2. And by the way, it was 3rd and 2 to begin with. They roll Trevor right. They don't get it. And then on 4th and 2, they decide to go for it, up 17-13. And at this time, they have all the momentum. They really had a lot of momentum at this stage. And it felt like they had the Dolphins on the ropes. And the Dolphins get a big stop. But you have to kick the field goal, right? I mean, you have to go up 7 points, keep the momentum, and not have what happened, and that is the momentum shifted. They went right down and scored and took the lead. I love the aggressive nature of Urban. He said he was going to be aggressive when he got the job. He continues to say it, and you know what? They have been aggressive. But there's difference between being like reckless and kamikaze style aggressive than it is being football aggressive. I thought that one was a little bit reckless. That was too far outside the book to do that. Do you agree?
No, I definitely agree. To echo what you said a little bit, it's all about the momentum. And at that point, you had the momentum. You were up by 4. A field goal puts it to 7. And now all of a sudden, they can't beat you. The best they can do right now is tie you. I would have took those odds. No, you handed it off to James Robinson, so you like to see that on 4th and 2.
That is true.
But my argument is, then where was that on 3rd down? Like if running the ball was going to be the goal and trying to play a physical brand of football for that drive was the goal, well, then do that 3rd down as well. Don't get fancy on 3rd down and then try to go back to what you want to do on 4th down. So I didn't like the call. And when I get hindsight's 20/20, but to go up 7 there, to kick the ball back and give it to them, at the 20, 25, whatever the case may be, I like that a lot better than all of a sudden a momentum change. And you saw how it changed after that as well.
Oh, it was huge. And that's, you bring up a great point. There were 2, and we're going to get to the other 4th down. And actually, I left one of them out. There's really, in my opinion now, there's 5 4th downs to talk about over the last 3. The first 3 went bad. Yes. I just gave you Cincinnati, Tennessee, and then the one we're talking about. And then the next 2 go right, and 4th and 1, and then 4th and 8. Mm-hmm. One defensive stop, the offensive play to set up the field goal. Mm-hmm. And so we'll get to those in a moment. But my big, what I get after coaches, at least while I'm watching a game, and this is any game, is that if you're going to go for it, know you're going to go for it on 3rd down, because it changes. Like if it's 3rd and 5 and you think you're in a go for it territory, what you call on 3rd and 5 can impact how you call it on 4th and 2. Correct. Or 4th and 5. If you don't think you're going to go for it, then that should impact your play call and the aggressive nature of it and where you are on the field and all that stuff if you're just going to punt it away or kick it. And so to me, I agree with you. I didn't think the 3rd down play suggested that the Jags were going to go for it on 4th down.
No,
they didn't try to really fool anybody. No. They cut half the field off. It was covered up pretty nice, but it wasn't like an overly good scheme play for the Jags. In fact, I thought it was kind of a badly schemed play. They cut the field in half. And so I didn't like that play call. Again, if you're going to go for it on 4th down, I mean, take 2 runs or just go like stuff everybody in there, almost like you would on the goal line, and then sneak somebody out on 3rd down. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it just didn't feel like they were thinking it. So it felt like kind of spur of the moment. So my criticism of the coaches is like, hey, think a play ahead. I mean, come on, be ready to go. And I could criticize them actually for the same thing at the end of the game. I can't believe they were thinking Hail Mary in that spot. Well, I mean, they should think Hail Mary, but they shouldn't have had to really change. Like, you can make that play. Mm-hmm. Like, they actually let the clock run down too much. They should have kept like 6 or 7 seconds on it, in my opinion, because I've seen plays against the Jags go 3 seconds, boom, over the middle.
Yes.
And at that point, all you have to do is defend a Hail Mary from 60 yards away if you don't get the 1st down, mm-hmm. right? So I guess my criticism of the coaching staff, Urban, anybody else, would be, hey, why aren't they ahead of this a little bit? Like, don't you have to be, as a play caller and as a coach, like 2 or 3 plays ahead in the sequencing? I would think you would.
Absolutely. And, I'm not sure if these are pre-designed scripts here that you thought, okay, like these have worked for us in practice, whatever the case may be. But every game's different and every situation's different once you find yourself in the heart of a game. Miami, I think overall, like, Robinson didn't have his best day. I mean, he also didn't get the ball like you wanted to see probably, but he didn't have his best day. Miami did a good job hitting him in the backfield, but you still got to rely on your identity and what you do. And maybe you try to get too fancy with that play call, but like you said, it wasn't anything like where it was like, oh, this is different. Like, no, Miami did a great job on 3rd down, shut it down, and then you go back to 4th down where I think they kind of saw that play coming. So to me, it's all about you got to be in the moment and you got to adjust off that. You can't. It's good to have these pre-designed scripts and everything for emergency situations, but if that was the case for that series, you shouldn't have used it there.
Yeah, and by the way, it's just not the time to go for it. If you can go up a touchdown and you haven't won a game in 400 days, like, your guys have worked too hard to get to that point, get you back in the game after being down 13-3.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that's well received on the sideline to go for it and miss. And now most players will say, let's go for it. I'm glad he trusted me.
Yeah,
but I don't think so in that situation. We got ourselves back in the game, back in the lead, and in the 4th quarter, we have a chance to go up a field goal where we essentially can't lose the game in regulation. Mm-hmm. And well, you kind of just took that away from us, and now we might lose the game in regulation. Like, I don't think that's a good message.
I mean, you go for the field goal there, you're still going for the kill. You're up 7. It comes down to you trying to shoot him in the chest or shoot him in the head. Like, shoot him in the head, right? Then go for it, and hopefully you get it, but that doesn't matter. Just go for the kill, go up 7, and leave it to your defense, who was playing a better brand of football in the second half.
Yeah, and also it doesn't breed a lot of confidence in your defense, right?
No,
if you
not
say,
at all.
we don't feel like a touchdown's good enough.
Yeah.
And by the way, in the NFL, a touchdown a lot of times isn't good enough.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you were going to get another possession in that game, even if you gave it up, as we learned. They got a couple more.
Yeah.
So I think in real time, I always try to, because I get mad, not mad, but I always think it's funny about the folks that when we're live tweeting, they like 6 hours later, they hit me back about something you said in the second quarter when things were going terrible.
Yeah.
Well, so I try to do the same here. I've tried to put myself in the situation, and a lot of times I love being aggressive. I love the fact that they go for it. This one I didn't. Like, I never felt good about that. I just thought it was the wrong call.
Do you think, with Matthew Wright, were they not fully confident with him at that point?
I thought about that, Austin, but they were pretty close in there now. I mean, like, that wasn't like if you were going to tell me that was the ball was sitting on the 37-yard line, I would have then felt differently about the whole thing, because I'm not sure I would have trusted Matthew Wright. Okay, sure. But this was way down. They were inside the 20 or something. I mean, it just said, I think every coach in the National Football League kicks the field goal there. And sometimes different is good, but sometimes being different compared to every coach in the National Football League that would kick the field goal there is not that smart. It's not that smart. And it turned out that it wasn't smart. So that's that play. But But then it sets up everything else. Yeah, they set up everything else. And we're probably doing too critical too early about a play like that. But when we come back, I think you also have to applaud the coaching staff for the 4th and 8 play, the actual execution of the play, because it's something they practiced, the old slider play. And he wasn't talking about Matthew Wright's kick. That was more of a curve.
Yes. Yeah.
This was the slider play, and I love the play, and we have seen it before. And once again, the Jags proved if you have a timeout in your pocket, you can run a play in 3 or 4 seconds in the National Football League. We've seen it before. And I thought that was executed perfectly. But I do have a question about it when we come back.
And at the end of the day, if you're busy practicing the slider play over the quarterback sneak, I'm not mad at it, man.
Yes.
If that's where the quarterback sneak time went to the slider play,
yes,
it paid dividends.
That's a good point.
It paid dividends.
That's a good point. That might have been the key.
Might have been the key.
We'll be back. Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690.
Keep climbing.
It's intercepted. Picked off of the 12. He will go down. He finds the promised land. Touchdown, FSU.
This is your home for FSU football.
Outside the numbers to the 10. 5, 3, 2, 1. It's a touchdown, Florida State. Intercepted. Picked off of the 33-yard line. Noles win.
Catch live coverage of the Seminoles all season long, right here on your home for Florida State football.
Sponsored by Bono's Pit Barbecue. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Today's pros need today's tools, and nobody understands that better than the Home Depot. Our app makes it simpler to get supplies ordered and delivered. Our online project calculators cut guesswork and last-second supply runs. Job site delivery puts what you need where and when you need it. And rental puts the right equipment in your hands, but not your overhead. That's how today's pros get more done. New tech, new tools, old-fashioned hard work. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get in on the action. Well, no more, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide, with plans starting at just $35 a month with no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for only $299, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
ESPN 690 is hitting the road, and this Wednesday we'll be live broadcasting from J-Tech at 8813 Western Way near Bay Meadows and 95. Stop by and come say what's up and take a tour of the campus and see what life at J-Tech is really like. We'll see you Wednesday.
Hi there. I'm Mia. I'm Air.
You're Air?
Yeah, I just got out of the lungs of someone smoking a cheap little cigar outside a bodega. Oh, it was so smoky in there. And where there's smoke, there's
fire.
Cancer.
Oh.
Yeah. Little cigars might taste sweet, but they still kill. I'm supposed to be helping people, not unhelping them.
You mean hurting?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I'm a bit of an airhead.
Little cigars are just as dangerous as regular cigarettes. Find out how to quit today at tobaccofreeflorida.com.
Hey everyone, it's Brent Martineau. Meet Relevant, the new group messaging app that drives real-time, authentic conversations. You can now listen and live chat with us during our radio show directly on Relevant. It's a new fun way to interact with your favorite hosts and other listeners. It's easy. Just download the free Relevant app. That's RELEVNT. Simply search for the ESPN 690 community and join the chat. Listen in on the Relevant app for special polls, promotions, and giveaways. We'll see you there.
You've been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. You have to carefully monitor your health for the rest of your life. And you have an increased risk of developing cardiovascular disease.
Cut, take 2, action.
You've been diagnosed with a new purpose, to fight for the amazing life you made for yourself. To look that risk of heart disease square in the face and say, no, not me. You've been given a new opportunity to live. Get started at NoDiabetesByHeart.org.
For the ones who are always in the know.
Delivery confirmed.
For the ones who keep things running. For the innovators and the problem solvers. Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, experienced staff at local branches, and free access to experts to help answer your toughest questions. So whatever challenge you face, we have the knowledge and products to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
In these unprecedented times, nurses on the front lines continue to deliver treatment and care under some extreme medical and environmental conditions. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar & Levine. If you are a nurse or other licensed healthcare professional and currently face an investigation or complaint that threatens your professional license, let us help you protect your rights. Call us at 904-600-4000 for a consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Join us for the Autism Speaks Walk as the autism community reunites to support one another and fuel the Autism Speaks mission to promote solutions across the spectrum and throughout the lifespan for people with autism and their families. To register, visit autismspeaks.org.
Wake up to Wendy's and get a bacon or sausage, egg, and Swiss breakfast croissant for just $1.99. Made with fresh cracked eggs and served on a hot buttery croissant that's fluffy enough to sleep on. It's time to wakey. Hit the Wendy's drive-thru and get your bacon or sausage, egg, and Swiss breakfast croissant for just $1.99. That's a better breakfast for just $1.99. Only at Wendy's. We got you.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Third-party delivery prices may vary. Not valid in the combo.
Hey, everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays, 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Yeah, we changed play. We're going to do a Hail Mary, or one of the Big Ben plays, just a jump ball in the end zone. And I kept staring at the clock, and we practice this every week. And it's called slider. It's where you get the ball, and we usually say 6 seconds, 5 seconds. And we told our quarterback and LaVisque, and I had the official right there, and I said, as soon as he catches and goes down, timeout. And he caught it, timeout, and I looked, there was still that 1 second left. So we practiced that quite a bit.
Well, it was the best slider in Jacksonville history, and that includes Randy Johnson and others that have thrown for the Suns and Shrimp. How about that?
I like that, man.
That was a good slider play.
Great slider play. Fantastic.
I do like this, and I think this gives people confidence here in Jacksonville when you feel like you won the chess match a bit.
Mm-hmm.
See, I thought the Jags were going to do that play from the jump. When they initially, if you go back and look at it, I'll have to go back and look at it too to exactly know. But I just, in real time, I remember going back and watching this, and I was like, are they going to throw a quick play? You have time. I tweeted it. I was like, you can run a play in 4 seconds and call timeout. Because there was like a review or something happening, right? Glenn says Randy threw for the Jax post. Thank you very much. Not the Suns. Appreciate it. So I thought they were going to do it because they had Dan Arnold initially when they lined up. I was at the top split out, like next to Cam Robinson.
Yeah.
Okay, but he was split out wide a little bit, and there was nobody on him for Miami because they were playing deep, but they had got the outside guys. They might have had 3 defensive backs kind of near the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And so but the Jags had 4 receivers. And so I was like, oh, they're going to hit Dan Arnold quick here, get a first down, call timeout. Mm-hmm. Well, then the Jags called timeout. And so then when Miami came out for the next play, they had 4 or 5 corners along that spot. So now they had everybody covered up. I was like, oh, now they might not be able to do it.
Yeah.
So then they ran it down to Laviska Shenault and obviously made the quick play. So that was me thinking and watching it in real time. And but in reality, they were actually going to go for a Hail Mary and then called the timeout to run the slider play.
Yep.
But I will be honest with you, I was surprised they wouldn't run that right from the get-go. I mean, that play is there to do.
It was, yeah. A few things have to happen where, first of all, you can't, so the defender from Miami kind of touched Laviska right away. And if he just kind of just takes it easy, because we didn't really see at least I didn't watch it, the clock rundown in terms of how close was it from going to 0?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure, was there a couple of seconds to really spare or not?
Well, I think there's 2 things going on there. Yes, I think because you really can run that play in 3 seconds. I've seen it done.
Okay.
But you also tell the official that Laviska's going to give himself up even if he's not touched.
Mm-hmm.
And then you call a timeout. But I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. Yeah. But if you tell the official prior, listen, we are going to give ourselves up once we cross the 40 or 35, whatever it is, 35 would be, then boom. So I think you can give the official a heads up that you want. And Urban's standing right next to him, ready to go the timeout.
Now, do you think Urban did that?
No, he did. He said he was right next to the official.
Okay, so he told him.
I think they did that. I think that's part of that play. You better do that because that has to be part of that play.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you have to say, I'm giving myself up.
Okay, I got you. Because, I mean, literally that 1 second difference where if you're just in a prevent defense, you give up the underneath, don't do anything, and just make sure he goes to the ground and you tackle him when the clock. I mean,
yes.
It was minuscule in terms of time.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So my point being, the Jags actually winning a chess match in the moment, doesn't that feel good?
Yeah.
Right? I think that makes the fans feel good. I'll tell you what, I bet it makes the locker room feel good.
Sure. Yeah.
But when you think you outsmarted them and then out-executed them.
Absolutely.
And the Jags, let's be honest with you, they're not the Chiefs talent-wise. They're not the Rams talent-wise. They're not going to always out-athlete you, or out just be better than you. Mm-hmm. And so in some of these moments, you better be able to out-scheme, outsmart, out-execute.
Well, I mean,
from a chess match standpoint.
And that's the biggest thing in Miami right now is Flores got out-coached. I mean, that's their opening headlines. That's what they're talking about right now, and they're probably asking for his job just because you can't lose to the Jaguars. It's kind of a tradition as old as time where if you lose to the Jaguars, something bad's going to happen to your organization because that doesn't happen.
And he did coach poorly.
Yeah, I mean, the challenges, I'm not sure if I'm really mad about the challenges. I'll be honest with you. There are 2 momentum-changing calls, and I think if it's reversed and it's the Jaguars, at least I'm cheering for him to challenge that.
Well, yes, I would have challenged because I think actually it was clear the one angle they showed on the incomplete pass that it hit the ground.
Yeah.
I think that would. So if they called it complete, I think Jacksonville would have won the challenge. Because I think it was clear. A lot of people say it wasn't, but because you can't tell if his hand's underneath it, it clearly hits the ground, like half the football from the side angle they showed.
But if he has possession, though, of it, it can still hit the ground.
Yeah, but I think you have to assume possession.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if you're allowed to assume possession. I think it clearly hits the ground. That's a really tough rule to begin with. It used to be last year or 2 years ago that if it hit the ground, it was incomplete, and now you can possess it. Well,
but I'm saying if it was ruled a catch, though, could you say?
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was an easy play. I think the Jags would have won on an overturn anyway.
Okay.
But who knows? I mean, who knows, right? That's certainly the case. And then for Flores, the 4th and 1 to me made no sense.
What about the one in Agnew, though?
The Agnew. Actually, that wasn't a terrible review because one of the angles looked like, I was like, what is he doing?
Well, and
then you saw the finger, but that was a depth perception thing. I don't think it hit it. But if you saw it from the side angle, it kind of looks like it. You see it from the other angle, you're like, nah, it didn't.
And once again, you score a touchdown off that if it gets called.
Yeah, that's a big play.
I mean, I
would
don't
say
blame
that's
him there
an okay
either.
one.
Okay.
But I think, forget about the challenges. It's the 4th and 1.
Mm-hmm.
You have a rookie quarterback, and by the way, their defense was starting to really work the Jags' offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
They were taking control of the line. Trevor was on the run, as seen after the 4th and 1, where they went backwards for 3 plays.
Yeah.
So I think that was a gross miss. This wasn't Tom Brady getting the ball back. and they could have pinned him inside the 10. So I think that was a really poor decision on 4th and 1, especially given the play call. You have to pass. Yeah. The Jags' pass defense is awful. Their run defense is actually pretty good.
This is true.
So I think Flores did coach poorly in that game, especially down the stretch. I don't know how you defend the slider play because you don't want to give up too much on the Hail Mary. You want to be able to take away anything quick on an out to the out-of-bounds marker. It's a tough play to defend. If the offense executes it like that.
You, just if I'm
don't
Flores,
touch him.
Don't touch him. I'm saying I'm playing prevent, don't touch him, because even if Urban Meyer says, all right, once he's down, fine, but you still get like a couple second grace period. Because it's not like you're running a no-huddle offense and all of a sudden it's like, all right, if he gets the first down, like he's down, like you can't say that.
Yeah.
Like the clock would have struck 0, you go into overtime.
Tony, by the way, says it was 4th down, so that's why the Jags probably hesitated. I understand that. But if I were the Jags, I'd be willing to even give them the ball for a Hail Mary from their own 42-yard line if they got short on the 4th down play. I just, listen, you've lost 20 in a row. I mean, I'll take that chance to try to go for the win. So it was cool to see the Jags executed the play. 904-362-9901. You can give us a buzz. Steven Zang on the line. We'll get to him in the next segment. We had to take a break. Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690.
Men, do you feel embarrassed in the bedroom because of ED or PE? Prime Men's Medical Center has the solution.
I'm Dr. Brown. 98% of patients experience a positive result from the treatment in just 10 minutes after just one office visit. Men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, and it's affordable.
Call Prime Men's Medical Center at 904-664-8217. See results on your first visit guaranteed or pay nothing. Call 904-664-8217.
Hey, I'm Carrie.
And I'm Bruce. We're the owners of Koala Insulation. Don't let the milder temperatures lull you into complacency. Fuel prices will continue to rise, as will your utility bills. Call us today and take advantage of our fall prices. We don't quote over the phone or just poke our heads up in your attic. We do a full evaluation to include attic ventilation needs as well as insulation.
Give us a call at 904-679-6282 or online at koalainsulation.com.
Is your home not feeling very new anymore? Sick of that pink bathroom tile, popcorn ceilings, a stove older than you are? Whether it's repairs or reno, finance it smart with a Honeydew HELOC from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union, where you can borrow up to 90% of your home's appraised value. You've got good taste, but your block counters ain't cheap. So get to work and open a Honeydew HELOC with 1-to-1 Financial. When you do, we'll send you a free handyman tool set to get started. Apply online at 121fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hey everyone, it's Brent Martineau. Meet Relevant, the new group messaging app that drives real-time, authentic conversations. You can now listen and live chat with us during our radio show directly on Relevant. It's a new fun way to interact with your favorite hosts and other listeners. It's easy. Just download the free Relevant app. That's RELEVNT. Simply search for the ESPN 690 community and join the chat. Listen in on the Relevant app for special polls, promotions, and giveaways. We'll see you there.
We will meet you at home. The state of Florida is committed to assisting homebound seniors who want to receive a COVID-19 vaccine. If you or someone you know would like assistance with transportation in getting to a COVID-19 vaccination appointment or would like a vaccine brought to your front door, then the Department of Elder Affairs Area Agencies on Aging are here to help. For assistance, call 1-800-96-ELDER. This message is sponsored by the Florida Department of Elder Affairs, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Are you bored from being bored? Then put a little excitement in your life in a great pre-owned from Arlington Toyota. Our friends over at Arlington have over 400 used available. 400! All makes and models. Plus, you get 30 days to love your purchase or exchange it. And if your Beacon score is from 450 to 850, almost everyone is approved. I'm excited. Are you excited? Then shop in person and online at arlingtontoyota.com today. Visit arlingtontoyota.com for full details.
You've been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. You have to carefully monitor your health for the rest of your life. And you have an increased risk of developing cardiovascular disease.
Cut. Take 2. Action.
You've been diagnosed with a new purpose: to fight for the amazing life you made for yourself. To look that risk of heart disease square in the face and say, no, not me. You've been given a new opportunity to live. Get started at nodiabetesbyheart.org.
Hey, sports fans, are you ready to get in on a piece of the action? The only thing better than your football team winning is when you have some skin in the game. This is Ultimate Vegas insider John Anthony, and if you're looking to cash in on tonight's big game, Buffalo, Tennessee, I've got you covered. Documented 77% against the spread. Call 1-800-244-5506 for my absolutely free side and total on the recorded message line. That's 1-800-244-5506. What are you waiting for? Get off the sideline. Call 1-800-244-5506 now. Buffalo, Tennessee. Side and total. Free on the recorded message line. Every touchdown and victory dance just got that much sweeter. But before you get in on the action, call 1-800-244-5506 or go to VegasScoresAndOdds.com. Sponsored by JFSR Group.
What's up? It's Casey of Action Sports Jackson. After you listen to us from 3 to 6 today, listen to Monday Night Football as Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills travel to Tennessee to take on King Henry and the Tennessee Titans. Coverage starts at 7:30 right here on ESPN 690.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
I'm Christine Lisi at this hour. Add running back Kareem Hunt to the growing list of Browns injuries. Coach Kevin Stefanski says he's out several weeks with a calf injury. He started yesterday in place of the injured Nick Chubb. Chubb not yet ruled out Thursday versus Denver. Browns QB Baker Mayfield, meantime, undergoing an MRI on his left shoulder. Baker's taken a lot of heat for Cleveland's 3-3 start, but he's not the only one to blame, points out ESPN's Marcus Spears.
When you look at this Cleveland Browns team and you think about what they were supposed to be, this defense is the Achilles heel, which has a bunch of stars name-wise on that side of the football. It's just not paying dividends.
In 4 of the Browns' 6 games, they've given up 138 points. That's an average of 34.5 points. NBA, ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reporting the Grizzlies and forward Jaren Jackson agreeing on a 4-year, $105 million rookie extension. Woj also reports talks between the Suns and DeAndre Ayton on an extension to his rookie contract have ended without a deal. NHL Lightning star Nikita Kucherov's lower body injury expected to keep him out a significant amount of time, according to coach John Cooper.
Want to look like $1 million? Upgrade to a Dollar Shave Club 6-blade razor for a noticeably smooth shave thanks to their 6 precision-cut stainless steel blades. Find your perfect shave with Dollar Shave Club stores. Yep, that's Dollar Shave Club in store. So go to the store and find them.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Oh man, it's different. It's special. Obviously, we've had a rough start to the year. Been through a lot of adversity, even in this game, just having to fight back, battle back, and find a way to win. It means a lot. And obviously, like I said, we've struggled a little bit, but to get this win, have this momentum going into the bye week, to do it here in London, I mean, it's all just special. I always remember this one, my first win out here. Like it's hard to even imagine. So it's awesome. I'm just really proud of this group. You know, we decided earlier this week we're going to win this game, and we talked about on the sideline. There's going to be so many ups and downs throughout every game. You just got to keep playing, and we did that and found a way to win.
That is Trevor Lawrence. More Trevor talk in just a moment because we can't leave him out of it. It's pretty wild. Like, he ended up with 319 yards. It didn't feel like he took over the game and was that guy. I thought he rescued them from a lot of things. And I have a couple of thoughts on that I don't think many people will discuss when it comes to Trevor and what gives you a lot of hope outside of the skill set and just the maturity and all the things that we always talk about. That's coming up in just a moment. But I asked this earlier about the defense, and the defense here in Jacksonville is not very good, okay? We know that. They can't stop the pass. I think, I say this a couple times on social media during the game, like Josh Allen's close, and people are like, hey, it's close, it's been close for 4 years, blah, 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 blah. They killed him. Listen, I don't think you can do it by yourself. I mean, a lot of times you need some push in the interior. You'd speak to this, but you need another guy on the outside, and Chason isn't consistent enough. And really, I wouldn't even put it as much on the defensive front. The reason, to me, Josh Allen isn't getting home is because those guys in the back end, especially in the first half, were not covering long enough. They need and he needs another third of a second to get home. That was my view of it. But I feel like, I'm telling you, I feel like Josh Allen's play and effort and all this stuff is jumping off the screen to me because he's trying so damn hard to make a play for this team. But I just don't know if they have enough good players in the defense to help balance his efforts.
You're not wrong. And you saw that yesterday, especially it seemed like in zone coverage that they're running a lot of. Usually, if you know that your secondary is doing a good job, is if the quarterback has to at least pat the ball once and take a second look. And you didn't really see Tua do a lot of that. Tua just basically said, all right, this guy's open, I'm going to throw him the ball. And he got the ball up pretty quick. Yeah, now if Josh Allen's a split second quicker, sack, fumble, who knows what happens. It could be a monumentous play. It just didn't transpire like that. It was a lot of close but no cigars. As Joe Cullen would say, you're close, but a close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. That's what he always said when, you'd have a QB pressure but no sack, because Joe Cullen lives for the quarterback sacks. He appreciates the pressures, but it's all about the quarterback sacks.
Yeah.
That's how you get your money at the end of the day.
That is how you get your money. But the hurries and the moving guys off the spot, a lot of people will say, I just saw Brandon Staley, who's like the best press conference guy ever for the Chargers, talk about, hey, it's an overrated stat, the sacks and everything else. And
no, for sure.
But
you also get money off quarterback sacks.
I understand and for the fans and for everybody else. Again, I'm just telling you what I think from watching the games. I don't know. Maybe Pro Football Focus would say different. Maybe their tape would say different. I feel like Josh is playing really good, really well the last couple of weeks. I just don't think he has a lot of help right now, and I think he could use it. And here's a great example. Ty, actually, he said we were having this conversation last night because TJ Watt. You saw, if you were watching that game.
I didn't watch the game, but I saw the play that he made.
You saw the play, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He's like, well, that's the play we need Josh Allen to make. Yeah. And I'm like, well, you're right. And by the way, TJ Watt in that play was triple teamed, and he still made the play. Well, one, he's the highest. He gets paid the most money out of any defender in the league for a reason. He's very good. Sure. Josh hasn't even earned that to be that good yet because he hasn't put up those kind of numbers. But if you watch that play, he actually does pat the ball and hesitate and pump fakes. And what I would say is that means those guys were covering. Yeah. So if you just brought up a great point. If you could get Tua to pat the ball one time, I think Josh Allen gets home.
Yeah.
But because he's not, I just feel like it's very difficult to actually get home right now. I just think the clock isn't in his favor. But I might be wrong, too. Maybe there is a move that he could do better. Maybe he could be a little bit quicker. I just think you can only ask so much out of one player. I think they have to complement that. I've heard it for years and years. It's passing. It's rush and cover, right?
No, absolutely. But at the same time, in terms of the middle, you can get more push in the middle as well.
Well, that's true.
And start collapsing the pocket a little bit.
And then he can't step up.
Because now if you collapse the pocket, that takes away another asset of getting the ball out quickly. Because now you're patting the ball, and maybe you're falling back, you're scrambling, because there's nothing that makes a quarterback more uncomfortable than the pocket collapsing, especially in front of him, because he sees it, right? So now all of a sudden you're trying to see your keys down the field, and all of a sudden you see a tackle getting blown back or a guard getting blown back to you. It's like, all right, well, now I got to change up my routine a little bit and get out of here. That helps as well. I didn't see a lot of that on Sunday.
No, there's one play. You guys remember this play or not? I don't know, but 3rd and 7-ish maybe, and the pocket does collapse. They get a rush on the outside. It collapses. Shaq is all over Waddle, and they still complete the pass. I thought it was great defense, and they still made the play. And it's sometimes, I say this in baseball all the time, sometimes that pitcher strikes you out, you got to tip your cap. Sometimes you got to tip your cap, they made a play. They did everything right.
No, for sure.
And they still didn't make the play, right? And so it feels like I bet the defense sometimes feels like even when they're doing good things, they're snake bitten a little bit, right? Yeah. Those guys go and then make a play. I think Josh is playing well. I think Shaq Griffin's playing well. I think there's a lot in between that is up and down and riding a roller coaster. And listen, I think Shaq Quarterman played pretty well in there, yesterday. And that's a good sign. But I don't know if he played well every play. Did they adjust on defense, in your opinion, or did they just tighten up and get a little bit better?
I think they tightened up, but what I did notice in the second half a little more, and I'm not sure if this was due to the coverages in terms of tight ends and Gesicki, because Gesicki got loose for another one in the fourth quarter, if I'm not mistaken, for a 30-yard gain. Then he was flexing and doing all that stuff.
There were two guys to cover on their team, Waddle and Gesicki. Who cares if anybody else makes a play?
No, for sure. I honestly couldn't name anybody else in that team.
Me either.
Was Will Fuller playing or not? Was he not playing? Yes. No? Wasn't playing, Casey? No, he wasn't playing. Okay. I didn't know. Okay. I think with, the adjustments, at least what I saw, was they had the tendency to bring down a safety and stack the box a little more. Not to really stop the run, because they're doing a pretty good job of stopping the run. Now, that helps in stopping the run, but it also does a great job in, kind of muddying the waters a little bit with clean releases.
Yeah, clog the middle.
I think that's what you saw a little more, was you weren't seeing Gesicki get the clean release. And I think if, you have the crossing patterns, like that got muddied a little more, and it threw the timing off just a little bit.
Okay. So, yeah, and I could see that.
Yeah. But that's kind of the one thing I noticed.
But they obviously played a little bit better. And listen, Tua didn't play as well. It just looked like a different rhythm to their offense first 3-4 drives versus the rest of them.
Yeah. And, we have to have the honest conversation with ourselves here, too, though, if you're on that defense, where, yeah, Jalen Waddle could be a special wide receiver one day. He very well could be. But he's still a rookie. And it wasn't like he was blowing the doors off of anybody this season.
No.
Gesicki, I think, is, I think he's above average to pretty good tight end. But, like, the way that he presented himself in that game, you'd think he's the next reincarnation of Travis Kelce. So those things still have to be addressed and they have to be cleaned up, because we've seen this time and time again. It doesn't matter who the tight end. And who's the other guy, the tight end?
That Hollins guy.
Who's that?
No, he had one catch coming into the year.
Who's that? Mac Hollins for four receptions
teams.
and 6. Yeah. Hey, nothing shows you more confidence than Mac Hollins getting a 20-yard reception, and then a couple plays later he's on the punt team or whatever making a tackle.
Yeah.
Like, who's this guy?
I mean, but and listen, we do have to be honest with ourselves. The Smythe guy had 5 catches for 59 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, these are not household names. They were without 2 of their top guys, plus Shaheen, who you could add in the mix too from a tight end standpoint. Gesicki had 8 for 115. I mean, it was gross at times, because I really thought Gesicki and Waddle were the only 2 guys you had to mark on defense. Like, that's the only 2 you needed to worry about. If somebody else beat you, then fine, let them beat you. If Mac Hollins is going to get 4 for 61, fine, tip your cap. But Waddle had 10 catches for 70 yards. The thing about Waddle, 10 catches is a lot, but 70 yards isn't a lot. Now, he did catch 2 touchdowns. What I would say there is, I don't know why they didn't start Shaq Griffin on him. Again, take him away.
Yeah.
Because they didn't. The first, I think, couple of series, I think that's an adjustment they made. I think they started, I don't know if he followed him the whole way, but I felt like he did. I think Shaq Griffin ended up going on Waddle after the first few series.
Yeah.
But I don't know why they didn't start there. That's been working for the Jags. Have Shaq take away one of their best guy, or at least contend with their best guy, and that's been an effective thing for them this year.
But Waddle was out of the slot too a little bit, wasn't he?
Yeah,
wasn't he kind of out of the slot?
Yeah.
I mean,
they're moving him
I don't
around.
know. Yeah, I don't know how confident Shaq Griffin is out of the slot, but he did. Waddle was kind of contained in the second half.
I do feel now, and I might be wrong. I felt like he was on him more in the second half than he was in those first few drives. And again, the production, it was a lot of catches.
Yeah.
It was 70 yards. But listen, the Jags have major issues in their pass defense.
Yeah.
And if you really look, like what I just said, even Miles has played up and down. I think Miles is a really good football player, but he has been up and down on the roller coaster. I think Shaq Griffin's played pretty good ball overall, and I think Josh Allen's playing pretty good ball. I'd say outside of that, from an impact standpoint, you really have a lot in between that. When you have inconsistencies, you give up big plays. You can play well for 2 downs. You can't get off the field on 3rd down. That's fact. That's just a reality. The Jags really have a hard time playing 3 good downs of football. And especially if they're going to throw it 3 times in a row. If they're going to give you a couple runs early, you say thank you, because they feel good about that, and then you'll take your chance on the one play. But they were 9 of 17 on 3rd down. I mean, this is Tua in Miami, 9 of 17 on 3rd down. I mean, the Jags have got to find a way to be better.
That first drive, it's oh, here we go again.
And they had 3rd and 9 on the first one, and Allen's all over them, and they still were wide open.
And that's the biggest thing, is what it looks like. Yes, great receivers are going to make great plays. Even sometimes good receivers make good plays, whether they're tight ends or wide receivers. But what you saw from Gesicki being wide open a couple times, it seemed like 3 guys chasing him. I'm not sure what Gesicki runs the 40 in. Can't be that impressive.
No.
Okay. And the fact that he's literally 3 yards ahead of everybody and people are just chasing him and he hasn't got the ball yet, that can't happen.
Yeah.
Whether it's man coverage or zone coverage. If you're in man coverage and you have Wilson on him or a safety on him, you got to stay with the tight end. All right. Because we're not talking about Darren Waller or Travis Kelce here. Okay. That guy hasn't earned that kind of prestige yet. And if you're in zone coverage, that can't happen either. And I can count at least 3 or 4 times it seemed like that's what happened with Gesicki in terms of nobody was even by him. And that's the guy you got to key in. That's the guy you got to game plan around. That's what they call a game wrecker in those defensive meetings.
I might have tweeted out in that first half after Gesicki was open for like the fourth or fifth time in a row for a 20-yard gain.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the Jags would be very good at playing tag at recess.
Oof,
I mean, because that's what they looked like, man. They looked like a kid on a playground that was 3 yards behind the other kid and never going to catch him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they really have some issues on defense. The good news about defense is the Jags have proven in the past, and other teams have too, that you can kind of fix that in a year, in an offseason. You can. You have to go spend money, and you have to draft well, but you can fix it. The Jags don't have many fixes right now. Mm-hmm. They are going to struggle all year on defense. Mm-hmm. Like, we were talking about the schedule yesterday, and if you look at the schedule, right, Seattle, all right, it's Geno Smith. Seattle going out there is going to be tough. Again, keep in mind, let's start with the baseline of everything's tough for the Jags to get a win, but at least you'd rather play Geno Smith than Russell Wilson, so you think you might have a chance. I think the game after that might be San Francisco, and I said San Francisco doesn't feel like they're great, but keep in mind the Jags are going to get
Deebo Samuel for 300 yards.
The Jags are going to, I think that might be the worst matchup they have the rest of the year, and that includes the Bills.
The 49ers?
Because I think Shanahan is going to work them on defense.
It's all misdirection.
They're going to kill them on defense.
It's all misdirection.
I mean, they might not make a stop. Like San Francisco might not have to punt.
No, what San Francisco does very well, and against good defenses, it's the misdirection. And, it's not by mistake that you see Deebo Samuel open sometimes for like a 70-yard touchdown and nobody's by him, because it's the play calling, it's the scheme that Shanahan draws up. Now you amplify that with this Jaguars defense, it could be an ugly day against San Fran.
Yeah, I agree. And then you can look at the other games. I mean, the Bills are tough because they're just better, all that stuff. But I marked that San Fran game because I just don't think the Jags and Joe Cullen and everybody else are going to have answers for what they're going to scheme up. I mean, I might be wrong. We'll see. But I actually look at that game and I'm like, no chance. The Jags have, unless they score 45 to win it, they have no chance.
See, and I mean, and I absolutely get what you're saying. Like, you can only coach so much. You can only teach so much where it's like, all right, well, can these guys cover?
Can they do it?
One-on-one? Can they do it? And, you brought in Rashawn Jenkins. You brought in Shaq Griffin. I think they're doing a pretty good job. You drafted a guy named Cisco, who we have still yet really to see. So we're not
Played
sure.
2 snaps.
Yeah, so we're not really sure.
I wonder if we'll talk about that as the next week and a half go along. I wonder if they start to employ him more in the second half coming out of the bye.
Yeah. We see Tyson Campbell, who didn't get in, obviously, right? Because
he was hurt. He was inactive.
He's out, yeah. So, but when he's been in, problems getting his head around, problems tracking the ball. So there's issues there. Trey Herndon, much of the same when he was in, problems. So
I feel like he played better as the game went along, but he struggled early on.
Yeah. So to me, you have guys right now that just aren't playing with a lot of confidence.
They're just not good enough.
Yeah. In zone or man, it seems like.
Yeah. I would say this now, and again, there are a lot of conversations going forward. The Jags, saying that the Jags defense is not going to be that good, and we know that, even if they have buttoned up stuff, they're still going to have deficiencies, is more reason why I would play Cisco and Campbell. Because I look at a guy, and I know we joke around, but I do look at a guy like Trevon Diggs, who struggled last year at times.
Oh, yeah.
And by playing through some of that, you wonder, I'm not saying Tyson Campbell's going to be Trevon Diggs next year, but I'd rather him play through it. Right? Like Wingard.
Well, how's he going to learn?
Yeah, Wingard is playing okay football for them, to be honest. I know nobody wants to hear that. He's actually playing okay football, I think. My eyes tell me that.
Yeah.
He's not playing great football. But I don't know how Wingard helps you 2 years from now, right? Cisco helps you 2 years from now. Cisco might help you right now. He might give up a 70-yard play, but he also might get a pick. When you have 2 turnovers on the year, I would start throwing them in. And by the way, you might have to close your eyes sometimes, because these young guys are going to make mistakes, but it might make you better down the road. And so that's an interesting balance for the coaching staff, and I wonder if they have some of those conversations over the bye week, and we'll have more of those conversations as it goes along. Let's get Steven in. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Phones open all the time, but hey, let's have some fun today. 904-362-9901. The Jags win it. What's up, Steven?
Hey, not too much, guys. How about you today?
Oh, hey, we're doing a little bit better than normal.
Victory Monday, man. Feels good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was going to ask you on Twitter or whatever, since you're the baseball guy, have you ever seen a curveball like that and a field goal? But, geez, just felt like Jesus pushed the ball over a little bit to the right.
Might have.
And my question, since, you guys already talked about, Miami touching Laviska down, getting the play dead, I guess my main question would be now is, we got Seattle coming up, Shaq Griffin going back to Seattle. Do you think maybe he might take a chance to play as coach and teach these or give these guys pointers on how to cover a guy like DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett? And where would you put Griffin? Because, Griffin's not as fast, but he has covered these guys before in practice.
All right, Steven, appreciate it, man. A little look ahead to Seattle there. It's a good call. They've got two really good wide receivers. Tyson Campbell should be ready to go by then, and that could be a learning lesson. I don't know if – listen, there's a lot of people that can't match up with DK Metcalf,
But you might have Geno Smith throwing you the ball, too. So
that's true.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it certainly helps.
I'm all right with that.
But I will say this. Teddy Bridgewater threw for over 300. Tua's thrown for over 300. Tyrod Taylor threw for over 300. Yeah. Like Geno Smith, I don't care if you're – some kid playing high school football right now. It feels like anybody is going, and that's super disrespectful to the Jags, but you get my point. It just feels like they're going to try to pass against you. Yep. They're going to throw it 45 times, and they're going to get theirs.
Yep.
Are they going to keep you out of the end zone? That's a different story, and that's what the Jags did. They made the Miami Dolphins kick a couple field goals. That ends up being the difference in the game.
To answer Steven's question of who would I want Shaq Griffin on more, whether it's DK Metcalf or Tyler Lockett, to me, it makes more sense on the outside to cover DK Metcalf. But if you look kind of at what this game is going to be and how this could transpire, I'm taking Tyler Lockett all day because you just saw what Jalen Waddle did against you. And I think that, if you truly are going to go man coverage, you're taking a man-to-man Tyler Lockett. Lockett's a guy that goes in motion a lot. And the Jaguars have shown when guys goes in motion and there's just movement, there's confusion. You can limit that confusion by saying, all right, Shaq, you got a man-to-man. Wherever he goes, you go. Okay. Now, obviously, the offense is going to know about that because if Shaq moves with Tyler, then it's like, okay, well, they're in man coverage. We can see that. I don't care about that. What I care about is setting up the defense to get the best possible position, and to me, that would be putting Griffin on Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. Pick your poison a little bit, right?
Yeah, but also Geno Smith, you throwing the ball, so I'm not too worried. I'm worried, but not too worried. What happens if Blake Bortles comes back?
Well, he didn't get signed. They signed.
Well, do you know who the backup right now in Seattle is? Who's the backup quarterback backing up Geno Smith right now? Casey, you know?
I thought they just signed
there's a backup quarterback right now. You might have heard of him.
It wasn't Hoyer.
Nope.
Might have heard of him. I don't know.
Jake Luton.
Oh, Luton, yeah.
Is the backup quarterback right now in Seattle.
I should have known that. And they signed somebody else. Who did they sign to the practice? I feel like because when they like Bortles, they brought in.
Yeah.
But they didn't give him the deal. They signed somebody else.
Okay.
And I forget who it was now.
I forgot about that because last night in overtime, to call the coin toss was Russell Wilson in street clothes and Jake Luton.
Yeah. Well, somebody said that he wasn't allowed to do that.
Russell Wilson?
Yeah, because he's not on the active roster.
Yeah, why is he?
But I can't imagine anybody would give the Seahawks that. Maybe they get fined for it. I don't know.
They didn't trust Jake Luton enough. They let him go out there, but not to make the call.
Why was Jake Luton out? Whatever.
It looks like Russell Wilson didn't. If you saw some of the video on the sideline, he didn't like some of the play calls that they were calling.
He was a little frustrated.
By the way, Pittsburgh obviously isn't that good either. They're just not that good.
Yeah.
Ben's not that good anymore. All right, how about our guy, Trevor Lawrence? A little Trevor Lawrence talk. He keeps getting better and better, it feels like, but he finally gets the first win. What does that do for him? We talk Trevor when we come back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Phone lines open, 904-362-9901. James Robinson on Jags Report live tonight, 7 o'clock on Fox 30. And you can also be there from Sneakers in Jax Beach. James Robinson will join us at 7.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Tracking partly cloudy skies this evening. Cool temperatures down to the lower to mid-50s inland overnight. Lower to mid-60s at the coast. We'll make it back to near or just above 80 degrees tomorrow with mostly to partly sunny skies. From the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Garrett Beatonball.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds. Don't miss Beard's BOGO Wedding Band Sale happening now through October 24th.
Today, I took someone to their first job.
Today, I helped someone get to a medical appointment.
Today, I helped someone see their loved ones.
Today, I took someone to see a concert.
JTA bus operators are professional, trained, courteous, and proud. Become a driver of change. JTA is now hiring bus operators and is offering $10,000 to $15,000 hiring bonuses. On-the-job training provided. CDL training available. To apply, log on to go.jtafla.com/drive or call 904-630-3100. That's 630-3100 to become a driver of change.
Okay, I get it. So the summer season's almost over, but that's why we live in Florida. And that's why our friends at Arlington are doing fall Florida style with hot temps and even hotter deals. Get to Arlington Toyota today because they have 400 new Toyotas available with interest rates as low as 0% on over 10 new Toyota models. Plus, you get 30 days to love your purchase or exchange it. And every new car purchase gets a lifetime warranty with unlimited time and miles. Shop arlingtontoyota.com today. Visit arlingtontoyota.com for full details.
So, have you noticed when you watch the news that lots of crimes are recorded on cameras, especially ding-dong doorbells? Well, that's because they don't have proper security systems with them. Cameras are very sophisticated today and have multiple options. That's why you should deal with the experts at SafeTouch Security. When combined with a SafeTouch security system, the possibilities are endless. And when the SafeTouch experts install your cameras, they're virtually hack-resistant. And SafeTouch never shares your internet or personal information. So for the latest info on NVR cameras, digital cameras, or cameras with cloud storage, SafeTouch can help you choose the cameras that are right for you and your family. And even the best camera needs a SafeTouch security system. Don't give the bad guys a doorway to invade your home and family. Call SafeTouch today and see the many options available to your home and business. You'll be surprised how affordable a new SafeTouch integrated system can be. Call now while we still have our most popular options available, or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF0000233.
I love football and I love chicken wings. Hey, everybody, this is Brent Mortno. We are a lot alike, right? You love football and you love wings. Let's win the week with Extreme Wings Sports Grill. 4 locations in Jacksonville, Atlantic Boulevard, Ocean Way, 210 in St. Johns County, and the new location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax, serving up the freshest, never frozen, world-famous extreme hot wings to Jacksonville since 1999. We like football. We like wings. We love a good deal. To celebrate the grand opening of the Extreme Wings Roosevelt location, get 6 wings, french fries, and a drink for just $12.99 at the Roosevelt location. 6 wings, french fries, and a drink, just $12.99. Active military gets special discounts: jalapeno ranch, Caribbean jerk, spicy blue cheese, lemon pepper. So many flavors to choose from. And, of course, they can make them extreme if you want. Plenty of space at Extreme Wing Sports Grill locations. If you're looking for a place for the entire team, try Extreme Wing Sports Grill. I love it. You'll love it. 4 locations in Jacksonville, including Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hey folks, living in Florida, we don't really worry about the seasons except for one, hurricane season. And since your home is your most important asset, protecting your home with Rhino Shield against harsh Florida weather is good for your house and it's good for your budget. As the saying goes, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And when it comes to your house, those cracks in the walls will cost you thousands if not repaired. Rhino Shield waterproofs your home with a coating that's 13 times thicker than box store paint. It reflects 97% of harmful UV rays, has a Class A fire rating, is salt air corrosive resistant, contains the highest quality ceramics, and of course it comes in any color. Plus, with our 25-year warranty, you get a non-prorated 100% transferable warranty that guarantees against chipping, cracking, and peeling. So call 904-519-5055 or visit rhinoshieldjax.com and protect your house and your budget.
So you'll never have the pain again. Call Rhino Shield today.
This following message is brought to you by the Florida Division of Emergency Management, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and its radio station.
This is Max Mayfield, former director of the National Hurricane Center. This hurricane season, you need to update your family preparedness plan so it includes COVID-19 preparations. So when a storm threatens, be ready to prepare your home and have your family hurricane kit ready. Include supplies for your pets and enough COVID-19 sanitizers, disinfectant wipes, and masks. Know your zone, know your home. For more information, go to floridastorms.org.
The NFL is on. Key, Jay, and now Max Kellerman.
Here's a guy that you drafted in the first round that you think could potentially be the successor to Aaron Rodgers in the future, but could he at least be a damn backup?
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Weekday mornings at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
I do. The actual game part you do enjoy. Obviously, it's a 3-hour root canal, but it's Miami has a good team. They've been some of the same struggles with injuries that we've been having. But I enjoyed. I really enjoyed that locker room after the game. I think I enjoyed that more than the actual game.
Yeah, and even this afternoon, that was Urban Meyer in London after today's news conference. He said something to the effect of as happy as he's been for a locker room. And that includes some of the celebratory locker rooms of Ohio State and Florida. Mm-hmm. I think Herbs gets lost in the moment sometimes and kind of speaks in absolutes. So my guess is that Ohio State and Florida locker room was pretty damn good.
Yeah.
But I do think he's been very consistent with his love for the players in the locker room. I mean, that's a thing. I mean, he's now said that's always the way it's been. I mean, we've learned that about him. That's the one thing he has going. Again, I don't know where this is going for Urban Meyer. I really don't. I mean, I don't think one win, just solves everything. I don't know if it does. There might be bigger institutional problems in that building that Urban Meyer can't overcome. But I do think it's a very promising note. And credit to them, and either really credit to the leadership of the locker room, but I think you got to give some credit to the staff and Urban for keeping this thing going and them playing hard and getting better along the way. I mean, they really have. And I think it could have melted down last week. I pointed the Tennessee game, and then you go play in London in 0-5. There are plenty of reasons to not be that excited about it.
Yeah.
And they're pretty excited to play football. So I think you got to give Urban credit. I mean, we've been very critical the last couple of weeks of Urban Meyer. And he's given us plenty of ammunition for that, but I think you got to give him credit for that. But I still acknowledge one win doesn't change everything. I don't know what this means. I don't know. Here's what I know. Urban Meyer's not fired today. Urban Meyer didn't resign today, and it's the bye week, and I think he's going to be the coach. And to be honest with you, now that he made it through this part, I think he's going to be the coach for the end of the year. Yeah. I don't know what happens in January. I don't. I really don't. If you ask me if Urban Meyer is the coach of this football team in March of next year, I can't sit here and tell you, oh, yeah, I mean, what are you talking about? I can't laugh you off. I really don't know. Mm-hmm. But I do think now, I think the way they're playing, the way they've responded, maybe the way he's responded and the staff's responded, I think, heck, at the worst-case scenario from Shad Khan, I'm looking at a team that's looking like they're getting better, and I'm not going to change it right now.
We're on the same page in terms of we're not sure if this is going to be a one-year thing or an extended trial.
Yeah.
We really have no idea. My question to you is, what do you need to see from this team this year in terms of wins where you can go, okay, yeah, Urban's definitely staying. Like, this thing's in a good situation, and now they're going to see it through with Urban Meyer.
Yeah, it's a good call. I don't know what that looks like. It's a hard I do think if they were to get to 5 wins, I'd say, you know what? The way what they had to deal with, and they got 5 wins, and there's a caveat here. The quarterback is still getting better and better because that's who they have to nurture and cultivate and all that stuff to be the guy. And by the way, they can't take all the credit for that. This kid's special. I mean, he's got to, he feels like he could get better through a hurricane. And he already has gotten better through a little bit of a storm in the early going. So I can't give all of that credit to the coaching staff, but I think you would have to acknowledge what they're doing. And that kind of leads us into the next part of the conversation, Austin. This guy is getting better every week. I mean, he is doing things every week. And if his numbers don't look good, like it'll be Zach Wilson and Justin Fields and those guys at the bottom of a lot of the rankings in the quarterback numbers. And I understand the numbers are the numbers through 6 games. But if you really just take a look at Trevor and you take the first 2 games versus the last 4 games and you say, whoa, that was disgusting in the first couple of games. They threw it 51 times. He completed 28 of them. They threw it 33 times. He completed 14 of them. If you take away those numbers, and again, I'm not saying you can, but if you watch from a growth standpoint, these last 4 weeks have been really good football. He's playing really good football for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Not MVP football, but really good football.
No, and that's what you want more than anything right now. It's the constant improvement and the oh, wow passes. And I think the touchdown to Marvin Jones, that was an oh, wow pass. In terms of the turnovers, obviously you had the fumble. I mean, it doesn't directly fall on him. interceptions. I mean, maybe he could have had one. Like there's a couple throws where it's like, ooh, be careful there, Trevor.
I think LaVisca knocked one out.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, there's improvement, and that's what you need right now. I talk about this all the time. I speak on this all the time. We all want the Justin Herbert game. We all want the 4 touchdowns, and we can be like, see, this guy is the future. I think if you don't stat chase and you actually watch the game, you watch how the team responds to Trevor Lawrence, you watch how he takes leadership in the huddle, and always kind of seems to be even keel. He gets excited, as you should be. You're playing football, so by all means get excited, flex. I saw Aaron Rodgers literally call an entire Bears fan base and say, I literally own you, which was probably I love the win. The win was my favorite part. But a close second was Aaron Rodgers on national television with the microphones hot saying, I own you. I always have owned you.
That is
love
true.
that. Chef's kiss there, Aaron Rodgers. But I love what we're seeing from Trevor, and it's a complete package. It's the on-the-field stuff, it's the press conference, it's the leadership, it's everything. And right now, it's a nice package. He's doing great. He's improving. That's what we want to see right now. And we want a football game.
You want a football game, right? And so that helps it. From I do think you're right. The throw to Marvin Jones is so good. Mm-hmm. The hanging in the pocket, getting walloped, and the throw down the middle of the field to Marvin Jones is so good. Mm-hmm. And there's going to be 2 things here I want to say about Trevor Lawrence that everybody else, we're all talking about a lot of the similar things, and we see the wild plays, and this kid's got an arm, and he's got some wiggle. He can move with his legs. He's incorporated a little bit of that. The growth is there. We can all see the growth. The Justin Herbert game, the Lamar Jackson game might not happen yet, but maybe it's coming. And by the way, in the win, he did throw for 319. This wasn't a 180-yard performance. He threw it 41 times, had some drops. Those numbers could even have looked better for him. And by the way, would have led to the Arnold drop early was a big one because they were going in. Yeah. So, but I think there are 2 things to me that get my attention on Trevor that just continue to validate that this is different. He's different. He's the guy. This is going to be a fun ride with Trevor Lawrence. And so I don't know if people can learn on the fly as quickly as he did. I'm saying nobody, but few can. The first 2 games to go from 28 of 51 and 14 to 33 for a 50% completion rate to what he's done now, which is up around 68 to 70% the last 4 weeks. And that's even with, again, some of the drops of yesterday. That's a big change. He's taken those deep passes out. He's taken shots when he needs to. Hasn't taken it completely out of the arsenal. But when he dumps it, gets the 7-yard pass, taking what they give him a little bit. I feel like that is something that would take a while to get kind of in sync with and teach a guy to do. And he didn't have to do a lot of that in college. He had the better player. He could throw it wherever he wanted, and they were going to go up and get it. And from week 2 to week 3, it's like he learned that, and we continue to see it. 4, 5, 6. It's now like ingrained in him. So keep an eye on that, but that is awesome. I think he's thrown 3 interceptions in the last month, and quite frankly, I think you could give him a pass on 2 of them. The Jacob Hollister one should have been caught, and the one at the end of the game against Tennessee last week, which was kind of a garbage time pick, But regardless, he's thrown 3 in the last month. Mm-hmm. And then the other thing, and this is the bigger thing, we've been looking for a quarterback around here that could play above the X's and O's, that could make you better. Mm-hmm. Blake Bortles, even when he played really well, and he had times when he played really well, he needed things to go well. He needed the running game, the play action. He needed receivers to be open and go make a play, and Allen Robinson to go make a play. Yeah, guys are making some plays for Trevor, but Trevor is getting the Jags out of place. Mm-hmm. The pass rush got leaky. His legs got him out of there. He could keep it for 2nd and 10 instead of 2nd and 18 after a sack. You go 2nd and 1, and James Robinson runs for a big play, and Luke Farrell has a face mask, and you go from 2nd and 1 to 2nd and 16. 2 plays later, it's first down on the 30-yard line because of a big couple of throws from Trevor. Yeah. Who around here over the last decade has been able to get you out of 2nd and 16 as a Jags quarterback? Not many. Like, you feel now like the Chiefs, if they go 1st and 15 or 2nd and 20, you're like, that's all right, a couple plays, I'll have a first down. Yeah. I'm not saying that's every time with the Jags, but I do think Trevor has shown the capability where the drive isn't dead if you're 2nd and 15. You still got a chance. over the since I've been here, the drive's dead. Like, you might as well punt on third down.
Yeah.
Like, it's that kind of dead. Mm-hmm. And so I think those are just some of the subtle things that he's doing as well, Austin, that are proving and validating, along with the arm talent, the leadership, all those things that you're saying and that we are all saying, that are like, okay, this is trending in a really good direction.
No, without a doubt. I think what it comes down to now, and, maybe people share a differing opinion here. Like, do you think Trevor Lawrence willed them to win that game?
It's funny. I didn't feel that way, but then I looked up the numbers, and I was like, wow, he had 319. But I didn't feel that.
And I didn't feel that either, because at the end of the day, like, the image that I'm left with is Matthew Wright kicking the field goal, and he was kind of the hero.
Yeah.
Hey, you kick that far of a field goal, and you're brand new. Like, that he deserved that moment. I think what it comes down to now, yes, and we talked about all the attributes that Trevor Lawrence is showcasing on and off the field. What it comes down to now is, can you will your team to win a game?
Yeah.
And maybe can you will your team to win a game that you're not supposed to win?
That's a good call.
Because it's one thing against Miami. Now, let's be honest. If it was 3rd and 19, you're pretty confident with Tua back there too, throwing to Gesicki. That's not to say anything about Tua, but I don't think he's the best quarterback in the NFL. When you travel to Seattle, and maybe we talk about, do I dare say Buffalo or San Francisco, where it's like it's a close game, and can you will your team to be competitive when they shouldn't be? I think we saw that against Miami. His influence was all over that game. He passed enough to have his influence on that game. That touchdown to Marvin Jones was definitely an influence. But now, can he influence his team? Can he will his team to win a game possibly they're not supposed to?
Yeah, I will say, again, I didn't feel, if it asked me that question, I was like, I don't feel that. Like, because he had a chance. Mm-hmm. He had a couple of those chances, like, okay, is he going to go put this game away, and they're going to ride him? But at the same time, I think the Marvin Jones play was so big, the touchdown throw, and it was a good catch too, because it then said, okay, now we're only down a touchdown, and we get the ball in the second half. And then what did he do? He dictated play coming out of the second half. Boom, 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 right down the field, right? And that was big. I've talked about that a lot over the years. Can your quarterback dictate play? Mm-hmm. Well, Trevor, I think, is doing that. Is he taking over and willing them to win? Maybe not. But he's getting there. Dictating it is a step in the right direction. And I also think the back shoulder throw to Marvin at the clutch time, I think it was a 3rd down. I got to check the down and distance there. There was a back shoulder play to Marvin. And at this time, he was under duress a lot more. I feel like Miami actually schemed some things that confused him at the line of scrimmage because they had some free runners.
So, Miami did a great job in the second half, especially, is that they brought everybody on the box, and then they would drop guys back into coverage.
Yeah, so that was confusing him a little bit.
Yeah.
But even amidst all that, he makes the big play to Marvin on the back shoulder, and then Matthew Wright kicked the 54-yarder on that drive. And then he gets him into the 4th and 8, and then he executes perfectly the 4th and 8 as well. So there were still some clutch plays and big plays from Trevor and big-time throws and in the right moment that made it all click and happen, and he was a part of it. But I would agree with you. I don't think he willed them necessarily to win. They still needed 2 fourth-quarter, final 4 minutes, 50-yard kicks, which, by the way, the Jags PR said that's the first time anybody's ever done that in the NFL.
Done what?
50-plus yard kicks in the final 4 minutes of a game, of the NFL game. He made 2 of them? That's never happened. That stunned me that hadn't happened. Did I read that right?
Yeah.
They did. They tweeted that out this afternoon, but that's wild to kick a 53 and 54-yarder.
Yeah.
Also, the 53-yarder was the second longest to win a game to Scobie's 59-yarder on the Colts in Jags history. So anyway, I like that's again. It's all about growth of Trevor. But I see what you're saying. Can he win? Can he will them to win? Let me read this while we're stuck on Trevor for a moment. And Mike Duraco had this from ESPN Stats Info. He was pressured a career-high 21 times on Sunday. He also had his best game under pressure, threw for 103 yards when pressured. He had thrown for just 162 in his first 5 games combined. Threw his first touchdown pass when pressured. 3 interceptions he had in his first 5 games. So our eyes didn't lie to us.
No.
That offensive line got leaky. I think they got out-schemed a bit. That's another reason why Flores was controlling the line of scrimmage, and he still went for it on 4th and 1, which made no sense because he had all the momentum at the line of scrimmage, in my opinion. But I think there's an underbelly of really good performance in that game that didn't jump out and say, oh, wow, for Trevor Lawrence. but that put them in a position to win.
And we got to keep in mind, too, we have to be realistic here. When you have a guy like James Robinson, you don't need to take over the game necessarily.
That's fair.
But I'm reminded of, you remember when Gardner Minshew got all that hype after that Denver game? Gardner Minshew willed him to win that game, and all of a sudden, Minshew Mania took off.
Yeah, you're right.
Wait till Trevor Lawrence does that.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Oh, it's coming, too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of confidence and faith around here that day is coming.
Yep.
How soon will it come? Hopefully it would mean another win. Of course it would mean another win. We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Keep talking about a Jags win on a Victory Monday here in Jacksonville. First one in 400 days, people. Enjoy it.
Keep climbing.
It's intercepted. Picked off of the 12. He will go down. He finds the promised land. Touchdown, FSU.
This is your home for FSU football.
Outside the numbers to the 10. 5, 3, 2, 1. It's a touchdown, Florida State. Intercepted. Picked off of the 33-yard line. Noles win. Noles win.
Catch live coverage of the Seminoles all season long, right here on your home for Florida State football.
Sponsored by Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue. Smoked for hours. Served in minutes.
Mr. and Mrs. Flavor, thank you for joining us.
Great to be here. I'm Barry, the flavor of berry.
I'm Janet. I'm bitter.
And I understand your son is the flavor menthol?
Yes, he's the menthol in a menthol cigarette.
He's such a disappointment. Out there getting people addicted, being used by big tobacco to target black people. He could have been a lozenge.
Menthol cigarettes are harder to quit than regular cigarettes. Find out how to quit today at tobaccofreeflorida.com.
Temperatures keep climbing, and hotter weather means your body needs more water. Stay hydrated. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure the water you and your family drink is cleaner, healthier, and tastes great. It starts with the Connecticut system, proudly made in America and installed by the pros CGC Water. Not sure about your water? Call CGC. They'll analyze your water for free. I haven't had to worry about my water since I got mine installed because Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of the contaminants. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, non-electric twin tanks that use less salt and water during regeneration. Save up to $500 on select softener and RO systems this month. Financing available with approved credit. Call CGC Water at 904-552-1242. Call and ask about Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Tell them Brent sent you and find out all the details and all the great ways you can save. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com, your local independent Connecticut dealer.
Bozard Ford, Ford's Garage, and ESPN 690 are proud to present Be the Sun, Not the Salt Community Award.
Do you know any coaches, teachers, or mentors who are doing all the good they can in the community and should be recognized and rewarded for being positive energizers and making a difference? Are they kind, authentic, compassionate, and positive? Then tell us why they deserve to be recognized. You and your nominee can win free stuff just for being sunny, not salty.
Details and nomination forms are available on ESPN 690's website. Powered by Be the Sun, Not the Salt, Bozard Ford, Ford's Garage, and Cox Media Group.
Here in the Sunshine State, more than 3 million men are over age 45, and over half suffer from ED or PE. Here's a message from Prime Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Brown. If you're having problems in the bedroom and pills like Viagra have let you down, you'll see results at Prime Men's Medical Center, guaranteed, or your exam is free. And it's affordable.
Call 904-664-8217. Guaranteed results on your first visit or your exam is free. Call 904-664-8217.
For 50 years, Taylor has been a leader in caring for the elderly. Providing quality, compassionate care has always been our mission. At Taylor Care Center and Taylor Manor, our recipe for success has always been our exceptional team. They work tirelessly to ensure that your family member gets the best care possible. When residents were not able to spend time with you and your family, our team stepped up to celebrate birthdays, anniversaries, and special occasions. Our dedicated staff is among the best in the business. Taylor Residents, providing safe, compassionate care every day.
You love Zoom for video meetings? Now, choose Zoom to power your phone communications too. Zoom Phone works seamlessly within the Zoom app as your business phone system. Zoom Phone's secure HD audio and enterprise-grade reliability keep you connected to your teams and your customers. And it's easy to use on mobile, desktop, or desk phone. Empower your workforce with Zoom Phone. Zoom, how the world connects.
Hey sports fans, are you ready to get in on a piece of the action? The only thing better than your football team winning is when you have some skin in the game. This is Ultimate Vegas insider John Anthony, and if you're looking to cash in on tonight's big game, Buffalo, Tennessee, I've got you covered. Documented 77% against the spread. Call 1-800-244-5506 for my absolutely free side and total on the recorded message line. That's 1-800-244-5506. What are you waiting for? Get off the sideline. Call 1-800-244-5506 now. Buffalo, Tennessee. Side and total. Free on the recorded message line. Every touchdown and victory dance just got that much sweeter. But before you get in on the action, call 1-800-244-5506 or go to VegasScoresAndOdds.com. Sponsored by JFSR Group.
What's up? It's Casey of Action Sports Jackson. After you listen to us from 3 to 6 today, listen to Monday Night Football as Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills travel to Tennessee to take on King Henry and the Tennessee Titans. Coverage starts at 7:30 right here on ESPN 690.
I've been telling you about Easy Garage Solutions, what we did to our garage. This is going on a couple months now. And if you're looking to do something in time for the holidays or, hey, just in general, get that stuff off the floor of your garage, everything that you accumulated over the years in your home, or you just want to park the cars again in the garage and use it for what it was intended for, well, make sure you look up Easy Garage Solutions, EasyGarageSolutions.com. We absolutely love what they did and now what we have. Monkey bar technology, hang the lawn equipment, the beach chairs, the bikes. The bikes take up so much space in your garage, and we have 4 of them in our house, so now they're hanging on the wall. Easy Garage Solutions, shelving and overhead storage for boxes and bins, Christmas decorations, the like. Easy Garage Solutions. Visit them at EasyGarageSolutions.com. Easy Garage Solutions. It's that easy.
Hey, what's up? It's Austin Lane. Check out Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 or ESPN690.com.
Yeah, so the first one, I actually thought I missed it. I was about ready to walk off the field, and then I saw the O-lineman turn around, and they were all happy, so that's when I realized it went in. But yeah, the second one felt a lot better, made a lot better contact, so just happy they both went in.
That is Matthew Wright. Doesn't say much.
Let's say Matthew Wright and Hunter Renfrow walk in a bar. Who do you believe is a football player more?
That's a good question.
Seriously.
That's a really good question.
Wright because of the hair, you think? You think he gets the bump?
He might because, like Renfrow's like almost bald, right?
Yeah. Those, yeah.
That's a great question.
He was bald in college.
It's a really good question.
Yeah.
Is there anybody, like, do you think about that? Like, Renfro's a great example, right? We always call him the accountant, like, ever since the Senior Bowl.
For sure.
And he's a fantastic player, by the way.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, to find Renfrow, like, in one play was the was it an interception where he decleated, or was
the punt.
The punt.
The fake
That's
punt.
right, the fake punt where he
that was awesome.
Decleated
and just
somebody.
like an IQ play, you know, which was cool.
Like a guy tackling above his size for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So to say, like, guys like that, did you play with anybody that you looked at him and you're like, and I understand, listen, punters and kickers, but like Logan Cook looks like a football player. Right? Looks like an athlete.
Yeah.
You know, kickers have a certain look to him, like the place kicker, but like even this guy does not look like Josh Scobie or Lambeau or Justin Tucker.
Yeah.
Now, Justin Tucker's maybe a little bit different. I mean, the guy sings opera.
Yeah.
But true. But with the guy that you look at in the locker room, like Puzz, you looked at, you're like, that guy was built to play football or star in a film.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure. It's like a G.I. Joe. Yeah.
Yeah. What I'm trying to think of other guys that have walked through that locker room that you'd be like, that guy plays football.
I mean, the locker rooms that I've been in, not too many stick out to me, really. Because even like when we had Brian Anger, like you saw some athlete, you know, like he had the height, he had the stature. Like I swear, Matthew Wright might have went to GameStop and he might have waited on me like 6 years ago. Like, he looks like that guy. Like, I was getting a video game. He's like, hey, can I help you with that? I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, he looks like a GameStop employee. And now he's kicking, you know, the biggest field goal of the entire week. It's insane. But to answer your question, I can't.
Chicago? Nobody?
Not really. Because we had I think it was O'Donnell, his name was Pat O'Donnell, was it? The punter? And he was like, dude, you want to talk about, like, yeah. I mean, he looked like a football player. He should have been a quarterback more than a punter or a kicker or whatever. Nothing's really coming to. I got nothing for you.
I'm trying to think of a guy in the Jags locker room in the past that might have been similar. And nobody's jumping out at me.
Who was the receiver that was friends with Minshew?
Oh, Walker?
Walker? Yeah.
Michael Walker?
Yeah. You think he's?
Yeah,
I know
that's a good one.
Or the cat from Texas. This is a throwback.
Let me really get it. Does it have to be a white guy?
Well, yeah. It really does.
I guess it has to be a white guy.
I don't know. Give me some. I don't know.
Here's the funny thing, because we've traveled with the Jags enough.
Yeah.
To know, like, where they think like they look at you like me.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder what position he plays. I always thought it would be the coolest thing. Like, if the Jags had one more over the years as we're traveling with them, it'd be awesome, like, skit to do.
Yeah.
You know, like, just kind of prop me up like I'm like the kicker or like a receiver or somebody like that, and see how much you could get out of it.
No, for sure.
We just never could have that much fun, it felt like, as the Jags were piling up the L's.
Can't really do that, man. Not a time for laughter.
But that's a great call. I don't know what's your answer. I would probably say Matthew Wright looks more like a football player.
I have the best one for you, and it wasn't my teammate, but I hung out with him in Bourbon Street, and I have pictures with him. Danny Woodhead.
Oh, he doesn't.
Do you remember Danny Woodhead?
Yeah, I do.
Danny Woodhead, dude.
Just did not look, and by the way, very successful one, too.
Have I ever showed you the picture of Danny Woodhead and one of my friends? Yeah. It looks like he's a middle schooler and just got back from like PacSun. Like on a shopping spree. Like he's got like the bob, like he's got like the Bieber haircut with like a flannel. I'm like,
I remember the flannel in that picture.
And this dude was like at the time at the Patriots killing it. And people are walking by him, had no idea.
That's a great call.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Hey, we tried something new yesterday at halftime. We're on the Relevant app, but you got to download the Relevant app. We're going to put more content there that you won't get here. So try it out. Download the Relevant app. Join the conversation. You can listen to ESPN 690. You can do your own podcast. You can build your own communities and vibes. And we're going to put some kind of exclusive content on the Relevant app in the future. So we want to get you downloading that thing. RELEVNT, the Relevant app. Make sure you go and download it. Have some fun. And we had some fun with the halftime show, if you will, on the Relevant app yesterday morning. Football at 5 coming up. That means more Jags talk. And also, if you missed it at the top of the show, it's worth another listen for those who did. But if you didn't, the open from Casey. He surprised us with an open on a Victory Monday.
Absolutely.
And you get to hear it right at the top of the hour when we come back on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Know what time it is? It's time to get moving. Cora Physical Therapy has opened a new state-of-the-art clinic in Kingsland on Boone and Haddock, and will be opening another one soon in Brunswick. With Cora, you have access to licensed, passionate clinicians, only the most innovative equipment, and life-changing therapies. Cora is all about treating everyone right now. It's your move. Visit coraphysicaltherapy.com for a free screening. No physician's referral required. Same-day appointments available.
Sick of big banks drawing money out of Jacksonville? Want your money to stay here and help local folks? At 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union, all of our capital is invested back into Northeast Florida. This includes our all-new hometown credit card. You get all the rewards and perks of a big bank, and every swipe invests back in Jax. Get 2 points for every $1, up to 50,000 bonus points, 24/7 fraud protection, pay with points, and tons more. Support your community with a hometown credit card from 1-to-1 Financial. Apply at 121fcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA, a proud Visa partner.
This message is sponsored by the Florida A&M University Medical Marijuana Education and Research Initiative, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Are you curious about marijuana? Florida A&M University established the Medical Marijuana Education and Research Initiative, also known as MARY, to educate the public about medical marijuana use as well as the detrimental health and social impacts of unlawful marijuana use on local communities. Find out more at mmeri.famu.edu.
It's a new approach to healthcare. The Center for Health and Sports Medicine is built on the pillars of health: physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional, with primary care sports medicine physicians, mental health counselors, an advanced diagnostics lab for wellness and sports medicine, and 24/7 on-site state-of-the-art fitness facility, all under one roof. What does this mean for you? As a Center for Health and Sports Medicine patient, you'll receive medical care in a collaborative, proactive, goal-oriented manner. In other words, everything they do is centered around you. Learn more at jacksfamilysportsmed.com.
Get back to high fives and family reunions. Get back to hugs and happy hour. Get back to game day and Sunday service. Get back to being Jax. No matter how much we wish, we can't go back to the time before COVID. But we can reset by getting the vaccine. The vaccine is safe, it's effective, and the more you know, the more confident you will feel in your decision. So get the facts about the vax. Visit getthefaxjax.org.
Are you bored from being bored? Then put a little excitement in your life in a great pre-owned from Arlington Toyota. Our friends over at Arlington have over 400 used available. 400! All makes and models. Plus, you get 30 days to love your purchase or exchange it. And if your Beacon score is from 450 to 850, almost everyone is approved. I'm excited. Are you excited? Then shop in person and online at arlingtontoyota.com today. Visit arlingtontoyota.com for full details.
Get back to high fives and family reunions. Get back to hugs and happy hour. Get back to game day and Sunday service. Get back to being Jags. No matter how much we wish, we can't go back to the time before COVID, but we can reset by getting the vaccine. The vaccine is safe, it's effective, and the more you know, the more confident you will feel in your decision. So get the facts about the vax. Visit getthefaxjax.org.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So your headlights are getting dim? With the seasons changing, now's a great time to change them. Upgrading your headlights can ensure you'll be safe and ready to handle darkness and fog. Oh, and we recommend replacing in pairs. That way you won't have uneven lighting over time. You can get all of your lighting needs fast with our next day delivery and free same-day store pickup. Getting the job done just got easier.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions and details at AutoZone.com.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get in on the action. Well, no more, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide, with plans starting at just $35 a month with no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for only $299, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required, actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Here's what's happening. Quarterback Josh Allen leads the Bills in the NFL's highest scoring offense into a Monday Night Football matchup against the Titans tonight. For Tennessee offensively, it can't mainly rely on running back Derrick Henry. It needs to utilize receivers A.J. Brown and Julio Jones too, advises Monday Night Football analyst Brian Griese.
They are Greek gods from a body standpoint. Their size, 220-plus pounds, each of them. They are going to be a problem because they're going to get man-to-man coverage from the Bills. Now, we know Tre'Davious White, an excellent, one of the best corners in the league. Levi Wallace on the other side. There should be some fireworks in the passing game if the Titans are going to stay in this one.
Monday Night Football, 8 Eastern on ESPN TV. Browns running back Kareem Hunt out several weeks with a calf injury, according to coach Kevin Stefanski. He started yesterday in place of the injured Nick Chubb. Quarterback Baker Mayfield undergoing an MRI on his left shoulder. NBA news from ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. Grizzlies forward Jaren Jackson agreeing on a 4-year, $105 million rookie contract extension.
Sign up with DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of the NFL, and use code CJR to get a free shot at millions of dollars in prizes up for grabs this week with your first deposit. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
I get maybe on paper the Dolphins have the better team, but they're missing some big components. Parker's out. Howard's out. Like, if this is the game to win, this should be the game to win for the Jaguars. Give me the Dolphins.
Waddle, he's got the touchdown. A great strike by Tagovailoa. It's a 6-yard touchdown throw, and the Dolphins score on their first possession. And Logan Cook again. He'll boot this one. And deep back is Waddle. And it's going to be a poor punt that goes out of bounds in Jacksonville territory.
Not again.
The night is darkest just before the dawn.
It is there. The pass is long to the end zone. It's caught by Marvin Jones. He beat Igbenogany, a 28-yard strike and a touchdown pass.
Wait a second.
First and goal. Robinson gets the block by Hollister. Touchdown, Jacksonville. They've got their first lead this afternoon.
Give me the Jags.
Oh, wow.
Tua winds up. Intercepted. Picked off by Nevin Lawson. He'll weave, and they take it right back and brought down by Hollins. Wright will try from 54 to tie. 54-yarder. Nope. And got it! Got it! How about that?
Holy crap. I told you where I was leaning all week long, and I'm going to get 3.5 points on this as well. I think the Jags win outright here.
53-yarder to win it. It's away, and he got it! He got it! Jacksonville wins and ends the second longest losing streak in NFL history. Wait! He got it!
Really good stuff right there. That's Casey Kurtz. I love when he surprises us with an open.
It's the best.
Fun stuff. By the way, I keep forgetting to throw to the open for the QB rookie report card coming up tomorrow. I mean, you got to keep reminding me to do that. I'm getting old, man.
A lot of bullets in the chamber right now, bro. We got to go to, man. A lot of bullets in the chamber
to remember.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was awesome. That is really cool to relive it like that for kind of it gets all the feelings, doesn't it?
Yes.
From Friday through Sunday, from the first half to the second half. And it's just nice for everybody to be able to talk about a win. It comes with, sure, this hesitation. It's not like all this, oh, my, look where the Jags are going now. I think the fans are very real. They understand it. There's still a lot of work to be done. This is not a great football team by any means. But to get a win for the fan base, for the people in that building, the locker room, Urban Meyer gets his first win, all of that. And maybe it does snowball. I asked this question last week. Say, hey, if they get one, I believe Urban Meyer is one of the great front runners, you know. And by the way, that sounds like a negative connotation. I don't mean it like that. I think there's something to be said for once positive things happening, then it snowballs into more positive and more positive and more positive. The ball just keeps rolling downhill, right? Well, I think Urban's been very good at that in his career. You know, so I don't know if one win does that. I don't know if this is the one that does that, especially given their schedule coming up. But I do wonder about it. I wonder if now he gets some of his mojo back, even Urban, because I feel like over the last few weeks, I said this last week, I feel like he lost a little bit of his bravado, man, a little bit of his ego, a little bit of everything because of the situation, but also because of 5 losses. It's hard to have that when you're losing and things aren't going right. Well, Urban Meyer's got a hell of a lot of that stuff, man. I mean, he walks loud and proud because of his resume. Well, he wasn't able to do that the last few weeks and so far this season. And now does he kind of lift his head up a little bit, his shoulders and chest puffed out a little bit more? And does that spread to the rest of the building and the locker room? I have no idea. It might be a little over dramatic, but he has done that in the course of his career.
Yeah. It's an interesting question. I think that it's only going to help things, obviously.
Yeah, it can't hurt, right?
But like at the same time, let's be honest here. Urban Meyer has had a lot on his plate.
Yes.
Now it's been self-inflicted. So I mean, you know, you're the guy to blame, obviously. But going 0-5 to start things off with, and then, you know, the video and all that stuff. I mean, he's been through a lot right now. And your first year in the NFL, you haven't won a game yet. You know, people are calling for you to resign, and everyone's like, it's just, it is a lot to handle. And I get the vibe with Urban Meyer too. Like, you know, there's some guys like Bill Belichick where it's like, I don't think Bill Belichick has Twitter. All right, I don't think Bill Belichick goes on Twitch and watches the local news stuff. I don't think Bill Belichick cares. Not to say that Urban Meyer is watching with a you know, microscope as well, but like I think he is more in tune, having been in the media for a while on Fox. Like he knows how the business works, and I'm sure he hears some of that hearsay. So when you're adding more of that to the plate, it's not an easy thing to rebound from. Let's be honest here.
No, it's not. But a win helps. We did say that. We all knew that.
Help.
Anything, whether it was last Sunday against Tennessee, this Sunday against Dolphins, the win helps. And now for the first time in seriously a long time, and this is reality, this isn't just throwing 400 days at you, they get to sit on a win for a couple of weeks. I mean, that is a big deal in my opinion. We thought it would be a big deal coming out of the Cincinnati game, sit on it for 10 days. Well, now you get to sit on it for 2 weeks, feel good about what you're doing in the film room for the next couple of days. Then you leave for a few days, you get rested, you get mentally right, you have whatever, a little downtime, you come back next Monday or whatever it might be, you feel good about going to work. You're on a winning streak of sorts. Not a streak, but you're off a win. And then you go to Seattle on a Friday next week, and you feel good about that, right? And you feel good that Russell Wilson isn't playing. And so now you're starting to pile up feel-good moments as long as there's nothing that crazy bad happens over the next 2 weeks, because the last time the Jags had a weekend off, well, the Urban stuff happened.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of that does make you feel like, give you a little subconscious probably inside the building and feel good about what's going on.
Do you think the Urban Meyer stuff has died down now? Like, do you think we can go on and, the next week here and not hear anything?
Well,
I mean, assuming unless something happens,
Yeah,
but I'm saying where it sits right now.
I think the way, if you watch these games, I think there are very few times it's referred to, or if it is, it's very basic and generic. And so I don't think anybody's asking about it anymore. I don't think anybody's talking about it. I mean, let's be honest. The Gruden thing really took everything.
But then you saw
Urban.
what the Raiders did, and now it's like, whatever.
But the Gruden thing at least took a lot of attention. The NFL had. Urban became
it was on Saturday Night Live,
thing,
Brent.
Right?
It was on Saturday Night Live. Was John Gruden? That's how they opened the show out. Was making fun of John Gruden.
But even that whole week, it was Gruden, but even more emails and Bruce Allen and all this stuff, right? And Pash, the attorney, and so it's like, Urban who? It kind of felt like from a national thing. Now, I said this last week, and I still believe this is true. I think there's stuff still going on behind the scenes, is my guess.
Okay.
In terms of not necessarily how do we move on from Urban like right now, but what if something else comes down the road? What if something else happens not even related to this? Can we get out of this contract? Can we do now? I think the red flags are up for Shad Khan, attorneys, anybody there to be like, all right, they feel the same way we kind of feel. This might be fine for 2021, but it's hard to predict after that. That's where I think we're at with this deal. And so is there another shoe to drop? Is it a different circumstance? Is there a way to get out of a contract that is hefty, if need be? I think that's probably an underbelly thing that's going on. That's not going to be a public deal because nobody knows the contract other than Urban's people and the Jags people.
Yeah.
Right? We haven't seen it, and so we're not going to see it.
We know it's
a lot of money, but can you get out of that if you need to? And so I feel, like I said this last week, I still feel it, that even with a win, I think that's still being discussed. I think eyes are on Urban Meyer, how he is going to handle the rest of this year, how he handles week by week. Is he distracted by some of these things? Does he have the locker room? And again, I think you have to applaud Urban Meyer and the staff. I don't know, maybe Charlie Strong plays a big role in this. Maybe it's Bevel and Cullen. Maybe it's other guys that we're not even mentioning or thinking about. Or maybe it's the leadership of the locker room that has kept this thing at least from outside looking in together to the point where they can lose 5 in a row amidst all the stuff that was happening and go win a football game in London.
Yeah.
And you kind of get the sense that this team is going to keep getting better. And again, from a coaching standpoint, I think you have to acknowledge that they have gotten better. And so they are not bad coaches. They make questionable decisions sometimes. There are curious calls and certainly calls that you can criticize. We've done plenty of that over the last few weeks. But I also think they're not just like awful coaches that can't get anything out of these guys. They don't have the most talented roster, and I think they at times are getting some pretty good play and improved play out of some of that roster.
We know how the narrative works in the NFL, where if it's going bad, that's usually when more things come to light.
Oh, yeah.
We saw that with Urban. We saw some, players speaking out or whatever, or at least some sources from players that were speaking out. Let's say a week from now, next Monday. You think it's all quiet on the front, though, since they just won? Or do you think that there's going to be something out there?
Well, listen, there were. If you want to acknowledge, there were tweets yesterday.
I saw those.
You saw the tweets, but I don't know if we should give those tweets credibility.
Sure,
that's one of the no laying up guys, by the way, that tweeted that.
Yep.
And so, I mean, that's a guy with 60-something thousand followers. I saw some other people chime in on that. I'm not. I don't know. We don't have that information. We didn't see that information. I'm sure every bit of information is being looked at in terms of what people say and do, and I think anything is on the table. So if there's another video or another this or another that that hasn't been released yet or whatever it is, and it comes out, then we're going to be dealing with this again. But until then, I do think it's kind of a dead issue. I think this now becomes a topic of totality. And what I mean by that is I think now Shad Khan, if Urban Meyer didn't resign in the last few weeks, if Shad Khan didn't fire him in the last few weeks, I think now you're looking at an end of the season evaluation. And so in totality, what does it look like? What did it look like before that? What did it look like after that? What do the win-losses say? What does the quarterback look like? How does the quarterback feel? How does leadership feel?
And has Meyer earned your trust back?
That's it. And so I don't think we can answer a lot of those questions, but I think by mid-January, we'll have a feel of, is this moving forward or not? Now, I'm going to say one more thing about what we talked about a couple weeks back. I really put it on Urban. I was like, all right, you're going to run from this thing and get out of this deal, or you're going to go to work and dig in and try to get yourself out of this, to get out of the mud and get this organization out of the mud, because that's what you were tasked with doing. That's why you're getting paid a lot of money. That's why we're putting a lot of resources into Jacksonville and what you wanted this vision to be. And I think you got to give Urban credit for that. I mean, it doesn't look like he's put his tail between his legs and walked out the door, right? I mean, it looks like he's going to work.
For sure. And I'm not surprised by that by any means.
Me either.
We talked about this before. Like, part of being a coach is what what your legacy is going to be. And if he was to tuck his tail and just leave, I don't care how many national championships you won. Like there's no recovering from that.
Oh yeah.
Like you would always be considered in a false light. I've only talked to Urban Meyer. Well, talked to him once in person, once on the phone. He does not seem like that type of person. No. So I'm not surprised at all that he's going to come hell or high water. He's going to see this through.
Yeah, me either. But I think, given the past, some people wondered that, all that stuff.
No, I mean, it would be easy.
Yeah.
It would definitely be easy. Like, I'll be honest, I don't know how he's doing it because, I think people, and once again, I understand that he is the architect of his own demise this past couple weeks, so I get that. But I don't think people understand just how much is on your plate as an NFL head coach, a first-year head coach, being Urban Meyer, and then obviously the outside noise as well. I mean, there's a lot there on your plate.
Well, and I think you're right. I mean, from a personal level to a professional level. And again, the question will be asked, how's this locker room respond to him? Or in Shad Khan's words, trust him?
Yeah.
All those things. And that's not going to happen in 10 days. But I think he took big steps in the last couple. That Tennessee game was a big marker to me, that they came out and battled and played pretty well in that game. Well, played well at times, didn't throw in the towel, didn't look listless. Again, I always go back to, like, the Houston game was a stunner because they looked so bad. Like, they looked like they didn't know what they were doing, like lining up. I thought that could showcase itself again against Tennessee, given all the noise of the previous 10 days, and it didn't. And so that showed me a lot. And now I think that's the makeup of this team. I think that locker room's either super strong or Urban has rallied it and saved it a little bit, and the coaching staff has done a good job. You got to give a lot of people credit, probably. But I think now this is this team. This team's going to battle. They're not great, but they are going to battle. And they're probably, because of their willingness to battle like that, I think they're going to probably win a few more games than some expected a week and a half ago.
No, for sure.
So that's a good thing. And this win is a big one. By the way, it's worth noting the Miami Dolphins stink. Like, it is worth noting that. Like, they're not very good, right?
Now, Casey, are our phone lines down today? Was there a problem with the phone? I'm aware. Is South Beach Gary?
Yeah, we'll see if he goes on vacation. He's probably on like a cruise. Doesn't get signal.
South Beach Gary. I would. The phone line's got to be down.
Have to be.
He calls in.
We'll remind everybody the number 904-362-9901.
Say it loud and proud, Brent. Say it loud and proud.
904-362-9901.
Apparently people forgot or something. I've been waiting on a call all day. It's 5:17. What's going on here? Anyways.
Hey, where can the Jags seriously get better and build on this win? Like, where can they, like, without making 5 roster moves, right? Yeah. I mean, have they steadied the kicking game? Can they now rely on the kicking game?
Well, so speaking of roster moves first, Josh Lambo, I mean, it's on the wall, right?
It's got to be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be. Unless they are really going to try to roster manipulate because of the 2 practice squad eligible guys that they could fluctuate up and down. I just think that's a hard thing to do because you're not that good. And so it really doesn't look bad to have 2 kickers kind of on that 55 man, if you will. And even though you can fluctuate other guys up and down, you're paying a kicker $3.5 million. He's now taking a 3-week mental break. This kid's the hero. He has to kick again next week. But do they give it one more try just to make sure Matthew Wright's the guy or go back? I got to believe before the Seattle game, there's probably a move made with Josh Lambo. I think. I don't think that they can do it. They can keep another guy on. I just almost feel like it's a bad look. Yeah. To keep 2 kickers on. And by the way, especially 2 kickers that right now are not really that great. I mean, Matthew Wright did a great job, but we don't know if he's any good.
We'll find out.
This isn't Mason Crosby and Justin Tucker you're keeping on the roster. I mean, this is Josh Lambo who...
Mason, what a ball.
I mean, seriously, this is not that situation. So even if you could manipulate the roster, we're not talking about 2 all-pro guys or something. I mean, now listen, Lambo was kicking at that level, but that was 2 years ago now. So we can't call him. That's not the current state of Josh Lambo.
It just seems like a lot of energy and effort and resources for, what?
Yeah. Now listen, I think I was correct on this whole notion that they were afraid to let Lambo go because I think they do think he's still a good kicker. And they didn't want to see Dallas pick him up or somebody pick him up, the Indianapolis Colts, and go beat him 2 games, the rest of the way and go to the playoffs and be kicking great. And I also think that they thought if they could give him a mental break for a couple of games, that maybe he could find himself. Okay, they did that. But now we're going on 3 games, and you have to use this kid.
Well, yes.
You now have to use this kid.
I mean, don't you put him in the ring? Like, don't you put him in the... Are we to that point yet or not?
No.
I mean, set aside from starting him, duh. But, I mean, do we talk about the Ring of Honor?
I hate to say it, but they should have left Josh in London. It just would have been the right call.
Just leave him in London?
Yeah, it would have been the right call. As for you, Brian Middleton.
Hey, that's fine. I'm going to give him my laugh. That was genuine, Casey. I thought it was funny.
I think I got to give a shout out to Lambo, too, who could tuck his head and pout about the whole whatever's going on. Yeah. Boy, that was a nice moment they caught on the sideline with him, right? I just don't think the average person does. Like, their notion is rooting against that guy. And I think football players are weird like that. Like, and sports guys are weird like that. They support that other player. Yeah. And I just think it's worth noting because I just don't think that's like a human instinct.
No, for sure. I mean, I think there's other people like that are cut from that cloth that aren't athletes, but I think it's a little more rare in everyday society than it is in locker rooms. But no, it was a great scene from Josh Lambo because we really saw it twice. We saw it after the first field goal. I think Lambo went up to him, gave him some props, and then we saw it again, obviously, with the game winner. And, I'm not surprised from Josh Lambo. I don't really know Josh Lambo personally, but that's kind of like the code that you find in NFL locker rooms where – obviously, this guy that Josh Lambo is celebrating with, that's giving props to, he probably just took your job, right? He probably took food off your table. But, like, as an NFL player, it's always ingrained, like, you don't stand on the shoulders of your teammates to make yourself feel taller when they're going through adversity. Like, you celebrate your teammates, and you celebrate cool accomplishments. So that's why that was cool to see.
Yeah. Gosh, that was a fast segment. That felt like it went a long time. Went by quick. I thought you were playing like some Jaws music or something right there for like a
spooky season.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hey, real quick, I don't want this show to disappear without saying, I think Marvin Jones was so good. So good yesterday. And by the way, if you start calculating his numbers, adding up to be the guy they went to get.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about on pace for roughly 75 catches, 900 and something yards, so close to 1,000, and 8 to 9 touchdowns. It's the guy they signed up to get.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about the free agents that haven't worked out. We talk about the draft guys that haven't worked out. But Marvin Jones has been a good pickup. A good pickup for Trevor Lawrence, good pickup for this offense. And more days like that for Marvin Jones ahead, hopefully. Will help this offense hopefully get in the end zone a little bit more. More Jags talk coming up, and also what else happened this weekend on the way. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Tracking partly cloudy skies this evening. Cool temperatures down to the lower to mid-50s inland overnight. Lower to mid-60s at the coast. We'll make it back to near or just above 80 degrees tomorrow with mostly to partly sunny skies. From the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Garrett Beatonball.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. Don't miss Beards BOGO Wedding Band Sale happening now through October 24th.
I love football and I love chicken wings. Hey, everybody, this is Brent Mortno. We are a lot alike, right? You love football and you love wings. Let's win the week with Extreme Wings Sports Grill. 4 locations in Jacksonville, Atlantic Boulevard, Ocean Way, 210 in St. Johns County, and the new location on Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax, serving up the freshest, never frozen, world-famous extreme hot wings to Jacksonville since 1999. We like football. We like wings. We love a good deal. To celebrate the grand opening of the Extreme Wings Roosevelt location, get 6 wings, french fries, and a drink for just $12.99 at the Roosevelt location. 6 wings, french fries, and a drink, just $12.99. Active military gets special discounts. Jalapeno ranch, Caribbean jerk, spicy blue cheese, lemon pepper. So many flavors to choose from. And, of course, they can make them extreme if you want. Plenty of space at Extreme Wing Sports Grill locations. If you're looking for a place for the entire team, try Extreme Wing Sports Grill. I love it. You'll love it. 4 locations in Jacksonville, including Roosevelt Boulevard near NAS Jax.
So, have you noticed when you watch the news that lots of crimes are recorded on cameras, especially ding-dong doorbells? Well, that's because they don't have proper security systems with them. Cameras are very sophisticated today and have multiple options. That's why you should deal with the experts at SafeTouch Security. When combined with a SafeTouch security system, the possibilities are endless. And when the SafeTouch experts install your cameras, they're virtually hack-resistant. And SafeTouch never shares your internet or personal information. So for the latest info on NVR cameras, digital cameras, or cameras with cloud storage, SafeTouch can help you choose the cameras that are right for you and your family. And even the best camera needs a SafeTouch security system. Don't give the bad guys a doorway to invade your home and family. Call SafeTouch today and see the many options available to your home and business. You'll be surprised how affordable a new SafeTouch integrated system can be. Call now while we still have our most popular options available, or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF0000233.
Men, do you feel embarrassed in the bedroom because of ED or PE? Prime Men's Medical Center has the solution.
I'm Dr. Brown. 98% of patients experience a positive result from the treatment in just 10 minutes after just one office visit. Men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, and it's affordable.
Call Prime Men's Medical Center at 904-664-8217. See results on your first visit guaranteed or pay nothing. Call 904-664-8217.
If you're like me, you come home from work and walk through a messy garage hurdling shoes and bats and bikes. Well, get the easy garage solution that I got. It's called Easy Garage Solutions. One-of-a-kind monkey bar technology that will last a lifetime. Hang the bikes and the lawn equipment. Easy Garage Solutions. Shelving and overhead storage for boxes and bins. Easy Garage Solutions. Cabinets and flooring available too. Easy Garage Solutions. Find them at easygaragesolutions.com. Easy Garage Solutions. It's that easy.
Keep climbing.
It's intercepted. Picked off of the 12. He will go down. He finds the promised land. Touchdown, FSU.
This is your home for FSU football.
Outside the numbers to the 10. 5, 3, 2, 1. It's a touchdown, Florida State. Intercepted. Picked off of the 33-yard line. Noles win. Noles win.
Catch live coverage of the Seminoles all season long, right here on your home for Florida State football.
Sponsored by Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue. Smoked for hours. Served in minutes.
Sure, humans can be a little weird at times,
But take it from me, I'm a dog. And a person is about the best thing that can happen to a shelter pet. So if you want to learn how you can be that person, get down to your local pet shelter or visit theshelterpetproject.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
What's up? It's Casey of Action Sports Jax, and I have something brand new to ESPN 690 to share with you. Every Jags home game morning, we are bringing you ESPN 690 Game Day Live from the Duval House. Brent Martineau will be live at the Duval House, right next to the bank, and I'll be in studio getting you ready for a Jags home game, the other games around the NFL, fantasy football, and even some Survivor Pool advice as well. Listen live every Jags home game morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. It's ESPN 690 Game Day Live, sponsored by the Duval House. What's up? It's Casey of Action Sports Jax. And after you listen to us from 3 to 6 today, listen to Monday Night Football as Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills travel to Tennessee to take on King Henry and the Tennessee Titans. Coverage starts at 7:30 right here on ESPN 690.
Yeah, just taking this momentum. Obviously, there's still so much more work to do, but it feels good to get a win. And, I wasn't a part of the other 15, but I was a part of the first 5 here, and we hate losing. It's been tough. We've had some games that you feel like could have gone our way and didn't. So to get a win, especially in that fashion, a game-winning field goal, it's just crazy. So it feels good. I just tell everybody to stick in there with this. We're going to be fine. We're getting better every week. I love the momentum we have right now. Getting a week off, get some people healthy. It's exciting for sure.
It's interesting. Trevor Lawrence has been that voice of reason, right? He's been so good behind the microphone. And we might have mentioned this last week. It'd be nice for him to get a win to validate all the things he's saying, like, hey, I see it. It's coming. Hang in there. Here it comes. And then to pull one out like the Jags did, that validates it. It wasn't like they stopped Miami 30-10, okay? That hasn't happened yet. But the win validates some of the things that Trevor's been saying. He's been very consistent with his message in the media. And to validate it with a win, I think is a big deal. And there's no doubt it's just amazing. He is I know Urban Meyer's the coach. It just feels like he is now the leader of this organization. Like he is the guy people are following. He is almost the voice of, all right, let's whatever he says goes.
Yeah. Yep.
Which, by the way, I don't say that in a negative light on Urban. I think a lot of people want that to happen. I think Tom Brady had that eventually in New England, even though Belichick was still like the guy, Peyton Manning had that, I think, over the years in Indianapolis. Russell Wilson, even though Pete Carroll's a very good coach and highly respected, I think might have that in Seattle. So that's not a negative on the coach all the time.
No, a good coach you're going to respect. But, there's a difference between respecting a coach, and playing for, a brother on the field. And it's just because they're going through the same thing that you are.
Yeah.
A coach he's the culture setter and all this stuff. But, at the end of the day, the coach isn't out there with you. He's not going through training camp. He's not going through he's going through film watching sessions, but, not in the capacity that you are. So, wholeheartedly, it is hard to relate 100% to, players, coaches, players. So that's where having that captain, that leader steps up in the locker room and you follow him as well.
All right, quick hitters to interrupt this Jags parade on a Monday. The Florida Gators. Whoa. Here's the thing about the Gators now. A lot of people don't like Grantham, and Casey, you're a Gator fan, so get in on this. But they haven't liked him. But if you looked at the numbers of the Gators, their defense had played well. Even in the loss to Kentucky, their defense had played well. What was stunning about this is they got absolutely run over against an LSU team that some days decides it wants to show up and others they don't. This is 2 bad losses in a row now to LSU for Dan Mullen because he had the better team. They had the more momentum. It seems like they got out-coached by Eddie O, and Eddie Orgeron now is going to be let go by LSU.
Yeah.
So it's a bad look for your Florida Gators.
The seat is hot for Dan Mullen.
Already?
Yeah, 100%.
Has to be.
100%.
Expectations,
Can't beat LSU, which is a team you need to beat. Max Johnson, who he's like 2-5 in the SEC. I tweeted that. He's 2-0 against the Gators. So that's a problem. The defense, they had been good. They were not good last year. They, I guess, figured out who they really were this week, and that's they can't stop Eastern, Western, Northern, Southern, anybody.
Yeah. And by the way,
you have to make a change.
It's not like LSU is that offensive juggernaut either, especially running the football.
Right.
So.
And by the way, did their running back, LSU's running back, set the single game rushing record in that game against Florida, and he broke Leonard Fournette's record.
Yeah.
Fournette only carried the ball in that game. He broke the record like 15 times. Like they put up a graphic, and it was like Fournette carried it 15 times, and the dude that broke it this week carried it like 36. Damn. So I'm just wondering about that night Fournette went off. But anyway, the
average
Gators,
like 24 yards a carry.
Yeah, the Gators are in trouble. They will lose to Georgia. They watch that game against Florida State.
Yeah,
I'm telling you right now.
Well, we've talked about that, and that's what's interesting. Florida State, if they can gain some momentum, I'm not ready to say watch it yet. I don't think we're there yet. But we wondered if Florida State could gain some momentum. They're going to beat UMass, you would think. They have 3 wins. What do they do against a Clemson team that struggles against everybody? Okay? Clemson ain't running away from anybody. And so what if, right? What if they beat Clemson? So then you start to think about the Gators. And then the other part I had, and again, we talked about this Friday, can the Gators upset? I wasn't ready to say, Georgia, you got this in the clear. Now I'm starting to think, okay, well, maybe. Because Georgia can beat you at the line of scrimmage. We know that. If Florida can't stop LSU, I'm not sure they're going to be able to keep up with the trenches of the Georgia Bulldogs. And we know this. The Georgia Bulldogs defensively are just so good. It doesn't matter if you had a good offense or not. They're probably going to hold you in check. So maybe the Gators don't have a chance in that game, although I'm not ready to say that yet. It's just too much of a rivalry game.
That's why I worry about FSU, though, because you know FSU wants to run the ball. They run the ball well, and if the Gators show that that's what they are against Georgia, that is what it is going to be what they are. But if they continue to not stop the run all year, Florida State, I think, be careful. And if you lose that game, if you're Dan Mullen,
well, that's a problem.
You're on fire.
Yeah, I was going to ask
You're literally on fire.
It's crazy to think, but that's how quick it changes in college football, that all of a sudden you're like, hey, what have you done for me? Because they're on their way to an 8-4 season, and maybe worse if that were to happen.
Keep in mind, this is SEC, where the wins mean more, but the losses also mean more. And those losses, the seat gets hotter. You know what I'm saying?
How about Eddie O? You go national title. Like it does feel like Doug Peterson, this happened with the Super Bowl. I mean, it buys you nothing to win big.
Yeah.
I mean, they won the national title. There's always been questions about Eddie O. Even when they hired him, they wondered. But still, man. And there's a lot of questions underneath the actual football wins and losses on Eddie O.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of memes out there right now I'm seeing.
But the guy did win a national title 2 years ago, man. And now he's out.
Yeah. It's wild.
He gets $16 million to sit on the beach, so I don't feel bad for him, but just crazy.
No, for sure. You know, it was kind of surprising to me because I remember we had, what was this guy's name? Jacques something?
Jacques Doucet.
Yeah, Jacques Doucet.
Very good.
By the way, best name in sports media.
That's a good name if you're living in Louisiana.
I mean, good name anyway. I don't care where you are. That's just a cool name. I remember, we talked to him, this is a couple years back, and, I remember I said, nobody really exemplifies, Louisiana, like Eddie O. So in terms of recruiting, in terms of getting the most out of his players, you think a guy like that, pending he can stay on the right path, would have a huge effect at LSU. He wins the national championship. He essentially gets gutted with his coaching staff, but then it just kind of goes downhill from there. And then you see some of the things being said, and now it's not a good look for the university or for Eddie O. It's crazy the rise and fall of a guy literally over a year.
Yeah.
It's almost gonna be like an ESPN 30 for 30 or some kind of movie. It seems like
it does. The fall doesn't. If fall happening, I guess was predictable at some point.
Yeah.
But this quickly, it just seems like, my gosh, what do you have to what do you have to do? They had a record season, undefeated season,
but it also
they lost the entire team basically to the NFL.
They did. But it also makes you appreciate guys like Nick Saban. Then.
Yeah, it does.
That can lose coordinators. Coordinators get better coaching jobs in different colleges, but he still remains consistent.
All right, let me ask you guys this. I'm going to read down the odds, okay, of who takes his place, and that's the familiar names. Lane Kiffin, 5-2. He's the favorite to go to LSU.
Yeah.
You stop me when you're like, okay, that guy's going. Luke Fickell, 11-2. Bill Napier, 7-1. Jimbo Fisher, 15-2. He just signed another gazillion-dollar deal at Texas A&M.
Fisher. I don't think it's Jimbo Fisher.
Bill O'Brien, 17-2. Mark Stoops, 17-2. Bob Stoops, 9-1. Boy, they must be battling on Thanksgiving dinner about those odds. James Franklin, 19-2. That's an interesting one. Joe Brady, 10-1. Mel Tucker, 12-1. How about Mel? He's got himself in all the coaching conversations. Dave Aranda, 14-1, who was a defensive coordinator for years and years, now at Baylor. Urban Meyer, 14-1.
Stop.
Of course.
Stop.
John Gruden's 100-1.
What a move.
But all those names, to me, the name that catches my attention, Brady makes sense. Okay, I'll give you that, Joe Brady. But the name that makes a lot of sense to me is a James Franklin. Because he won in the SEC. He's had a lot of success at Penn State. He was in the SEC at Vanderbilt, of course. To me, that James Franklin move makes probably the most sense, even more so than Kiffin. I don't know if Kiffin's an LSU match. Kiffin feels like a good Ole Miss match, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's done enough. I'd still hold the phone on Kiffin if I'm them.
See,
I wouldn't do that yet.
I hear the name Luke Fickell, and that intrigues me.
Really?
Because I don't know how old he is, but he seems like a newer school guy.
Yeah.
Great defense, obviously, holds guys accountable. He played a year in New Orleans, so he has a little kind of vibe there. To me, Luke Fickell would be the guy, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting you guys go there. I just don't know if
48,
Luke
by the way.
He's 48?
Yep.
No, I thought he was younger than that.
I don't know if Luke Fickell's sexy enough of
I
a
think
name
he
for
is.
LSU.
But see, that's the thing, Brent. Do you want sexy after coming off the Ed Orgeron? Well, I mean, that sounded bad. That couldn't have sounded any worse. But, like a big name guy. Ed Orgeron was a big personality.
A big personality is not a big name. Like, the sexy plays over LSU in the past have been the Sabans of the world, have been Jimbo Fisher courtship, a lot.
Yeah.
Les Miles, I'm not sure was a sexy name, but is that like Lane Kiffin to me is a sexy, splashy play,
for sure.
right?
Like, he'd
but
make
Luke
a splash.
Fickell doesn't fall to that to me. James Franklin would feel a little sexy, splashy play. This is very odd to keep throwing around the word sexy and talking about college football coaches, but you get what I'm saying.
But hey, you know what's sexy? Being number 2 in the nation right now, it's Cincinnati is.
It is.
Where's Dan Mullen on that list of odds?
He'll work his way in for another raise probably, though, soon enough. How about the Aaron Rodgers? You mentioned Chicago Bears. That's the big story around the NFL. Caught on tape saying, caught on camera saying,
I watched it live. I own you.
Did you see it right away?
I watched it live. I watched it live.
Oh, okay.
And then I had it on DVR. I'm like, Rowan, go and cover your ears real quick because I got to watch this again. And he said, I own you. I expletive own you. I always have. There's so many things to take away from it. Number one, I guess you can go and taunt the fans all you want. That's not getting a penalty.
Yeah, which is true. You should be able to.
Yeah, but forget taunting the players, be mean to your former opponents. But go ahead and taunt the fans all you want. It made me think, though, Brent. I love it because it's Aaron Rodgers. It's like the farewell tour, and he's doing whatever he wants. I appreciate it. I was a little taken back, though, I'll be honest with you, because then when he says things like that, then Derrick Henry can hear that and say, like, if he plays the Jaguars, what is he going to tell, I don't want Derrick Henry to say that to Jaguars fans. That's all I'm saying.
You just said something, though. It is his farewell tour. I wondered if that told you more about him not staying in Green Bay, and that was almost like this parting shot, like, this is the last time I'm playing here. I mean, unless it's on the schedule in a different way. But in a Green Bay uniform, it's the last time I'm playing here, and I'm going to jab you. Like, doesn't it feel
that was an uppercut. That was a haymaker.
It feels a little bit like that to me.
Yeah.
But I also will say this. In these kind of rivalries, and there is really not a rivalry in the NFL, but Green Bay and Chicago fit the bill. Yeah. Like, they're the only one that really, you can make up some other ones. People will say, like, the Cowboys-Giants, or I really do think Green Bay and Chicago might have the closest thing to, like, a real rivalry. Like we see it in Major League Baseball, Yankees, Red Sox, Giants, Dodgers, all those. You see it in a lot of sports, but NFL, it just doesn't play like that, like college football does. But I kind of like this because you almost need these moments in rivalries. You need, like, that player hating the fan base.
But it's not even a rivalry when Green Bay keeps beating you. Like, it hasn't even been that competitive.
Yeah.
But it is a rivalry.
But, yeah, it's true. I mean, it is a rivalry now. And here's why you don't see that a lot is because guys change teams so much that I don't think they want to do that too much, jab the fan base. They might be playing down the road. Yeah. But I love the fact that he didn't care. And there's a whole lot of Aaron Rodgers, I don't give a damn, right?
Oh, no, for sure.
You do kind of appreciate that part of him.
I'm telling you, it's Tom Brady, it's Aaron Rodgers. These are two guys that have paid their dues, and now they're having fun.
The crazy
More
thing
power
is,
to them.
Yeah, the crazy thing is on the Rodgers front, you go look at the numbers, you would have thought he had 400 yards and 5 touchdowns. He threw for like 180 yards, like in the game. He didn't even have to do anything.
Yeah, but he had that run, little discount, double check.
All right, we'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. By the way, you can see it on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. We're promoting Jags Report Live tonight, 7 o'clock at Sneakers. You can watch on Fox 30 as well. James Robinson will be there every Monday night. Jags Report Live from Sneakers, 7 o'clock with James Robinson. We'll be right back on ESPN 690.
This is Action Sports Jax.
I think I'm getting closer and closer to doing the anatomy of the screenplay. I mean, what the hell? I mean, why can't we run a screen in Jacksonville for 14 years since I've been here? 14 freaking years we can't run a screenplay. And then on defense, we can't stop the damn thing. They can't stop a screenplay. We can't run a screenplay. What is going on in Jacksonville? I mean, it's unbelievable. They run screenplays in high school.
Today, I took someone to their first job.
Today, I helped someone get to a medical appointment.
Today, I helped someone see their loved ones.
Today, I took someone to see a concert.
JTA bus operators are professional, trained, courteous, and proud. Become a driver of change. JTA is now hiring bus operators and is offering $10,000 to $15,000 hiring bonuses. On-the-job training provided. CDL training available. To apply, log on to go.jtafla.com/drive or call 904-630-3100. That's 630-3100 to become a driver of change.
For the ones who know safety isn't a catchphrase, it's a culture. And the ones who help make sure everyone makes it home safe. For the safety-minded who watch everyone's backs, Grainger offers supplies and solutions for every industry, as well as safety assessments and training to keep your facilities safe and your people safer. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
For 50 years, Taylor has been a leader in caring for the elderly. Providing quality, compassionate care has always been our mission. At Taylor Care Center and Taylor Manor, our recipe for success has always been our exceptional team. They work tirelessly to ensure that your family member gets the best care possible. When residents were not able to spend time with you and your family, our team stepped up to celebrate birthdays, anniversaries, and special occasions. Our dedicated staff is among the best in the business. Taylor Residents, providing safe, compassionate care every day.
After a long day, having my dogs greet me at the door with their silly smiles and wagging tails makes me happy. I want to keep that joy with me for years to come. That's why I trust Forever Vets Animal Hospital to keep my pets healthy. Forever Vets was voted 2019's best vet in Jacksonville Magazine's Readers Poll, and it's easy to see why. The affordable wellness plans are tailored to meet all of your pet's changing needs as they grow. Open 7 days a week, Forever Vets friendly staff is available to treat you and your pet with care. They combine extended hours with online booking to allow you to give your pet quality care while accommodating your schedule. Go online to forevervets.com to find which of their 9 locations is nearest you. And don't forget their newest location in Bartram Market. Forever Vets Animal Hospital, keeping your pets happy and healthy forever.
Get back to high fives and family reunions. Get back to hugs and happy hour. Get back to game day and Sunday service. Get back to being Jax. No matter how much we wish, we can't go back to the time before COVID, but we can reset by getting the vaccine. The vaccine is safe, it's effective, and the more you know, the more confident you will feel in your decision. So get the facts about the vax. Visit getthevaxjax.org.
See, boss, look at all these great masks, and they got them marked down for their after Halloween sale. These make great disguises for breaking into houses.
Oh, yeah. It's perfectly normal for a big guy in a Spider-Man mask to be lurking around the neighborhood.
I wouldn't be lurking.
Whatever. Just make sure you don't go near any safe-touch houses. Those things aren't safe for us crooks.
Hey, before I forget, that house we've been casing, when are those folks going out of town again?
Black Friday. And since they don't have safe-touch security, we don't have to worry.
Yeah, no safe-touch means no two-way communicator or crash and smash technology, no video monitoring.
And no headaches for me.
Here, look. What do you think of my new mask?
It's definitely an improvement.
Thanks.
You find another house without safe touch and the mask is on me.
Consider it done.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
The Wawa Foundation has launched its Breast Cancer Awareness Fund, formed to provide financial assistance to local nonprofits helping patients and families meet basic needs during active breast cancer treatment, as well as organizations advancing prevention methods or providing access, research, or treatment. The Breast Cancer Awareness Fund is a Wawa Foundation key issue grant fund with $200,000 available to be distributed to select nonprofits. Interested nonprofit organizations can apply at thewawafoundation.org.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Smart speakers are becoming part of everyday life, so why not use it to listen to the radio? Tell Alexa, Google Home, or any other speaker to play ESPN 690. Give it a shot weekday afternoons from 3 to 6.
The fans? Oh, they're tremendous. Yeah, I couldn't exactly understand who they're cheering for at times because I saw like I see here, all the different uniforms. But this is I'll never forget this the rest of my life. And thank you to the people, the fans, the setting, and our hosts at the Grove.
That is Urban Meyer. That was yesterday, which made me think, and I didn't see it, the room, that was all the media people in the room did they have jerseys on from different NFL teams?
Yeah,
that's the way you made it sound.
Because I thought he was talking about the games in Jacksonville. I'm like, oh, okay.
Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Casey Kurtz. It's a Victory Monday here in Jacksonville, so let's finish up with talking a little bit Jags.
Do we do the Victory Tuesdays, Victory Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays?
Sure. Here we
All
can.
Right. I'm gonna.
We're Victory 2 weeks.
It's Victory 2 weeks. I like it.
What did you? Most places you play, did you get a Victory Monday after a Sunday win? Because not everybody does it, but it almost feels like it's become a thing. Like you almost have to, right?
I mean, didn't have a lot of them here.
Nope.
Yeah, I think we did get Victory Mondays. Sometimes we got I think they kind of felt bad because it was like a hard fought game. Mellow Mondays or whatever you want to call them, but we got a couple of Mondays off when we lost too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
They try to spark you.
Yeah.
Kind of keep the locker room.
Yeah, for sure. I'll be honest, especially after it sucks losing. Obviously, it's the worst feeling in the world in the NFL. But there is a little glimmer of hope when you played a bad game and all of a sudden the coach goes, "Hey, just take Monday off. We'll get back at it. New opponent. When we come back on Wednesday." I'm like, yes, because that means you don't have to watch the film all the way. And you don't have to see where you messed up and everything. So that was always a refreshing.
I was going to say, what is a Victory Monday? Like you basically. You're still going to go in and get treatment, most likely.
Yeah.
But you just don't have to watch film. And
yeah. You can go out to, your local restaurant and maybe throw one back.
Maybe go to the beaches.
Maybe maybe. All the time.
Yeah. Well, the Jags have one.
Sure.
And really, this is a great time. I don't even know if it's that kind of Monday. They got back at 2:30 in the morning, so they probably still had a lot of treatment because of the flight. They want to make sure they're healthy and all that stuff. So,
do we know what the schedule is going to be like for the bye? In terms of,
it's funny you said that. I think
will
just
they
got
be
my
practicing
third
this week,
on that.
or are they going to be off the entire week?
They are going through Wednesday.
Okay,
it sounds like. They have availability on Tuesday, Wednesday, then they're off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay. My guess they come back Monday. So I would say that's probably what it looks like. Thursday through Sunday off.
Okay.
For the Jags. That's about typical, right?
Yeah, that's typical. Yeah. Sometimes you get the whole week. I think we didn't have that, but I know some teams, if they're doing really well, you get the whole week off.
Keep in mind, there's a couple of reasons. One, you want to keep the body as right as you can. It's still relatively early in the season, too. I mean, there's 11 games to play. Mm-hmm. Two, you want to keep people out of trouble as long as you can. The more off days.
For sure.
Including the head coach. So,
couldn't resist, could you, bro?
Well, I mean, I guess got to count for that.
I hear you.
And so I think there's a little bit of, hey, let's make sure we're doing some football things and get everybody in the building and not get away too far.
And watching that broadcast, the Dolphins have their bye week 14. Yeah.
Well, they passed up on you can decline it. And
okay.
And the Jags did this early one year against Indianapolis. They had a week 3 game in London, and they declined the bye week right after because it was so early. Mm-hmm. That's the only time the Jags have declined the bye week coming back from London. So Miami did that. They're like, hey, it's kind of early in the season. We don't want to do it.
Week 14 is kind of late in the season.
Doesn't that feel really late?
That's
got to be the last week of being able to take a bye.
Yeah, so the 4 teams for the bye week, the Colts, Dolphins, Patriots, Eagles, all week 14.
Yeah, that seems really late.
Yeah, it's not good.
Give me those teams again. The Dolphins, Patriots, the Eagles.
Yep, Colts, Dolphins, Patriots, Eagles.
What's crazy is I think a lot of those teams do that, be like, hey, we feel like we have a team that could go to the postseason.
Yeah.
We'll take a break now, get healthy, try to reset, do all those things.
Eagles for sure.
All those teams.
Careful now. Careful with the Eagles.
Season.
I know they might not, or they could surprise people. We'll see. We'll see how it works. I'll tell you what, Colts, all of a sudden, T.Y. Hilton's back. They're a different team now, it looks like.
Wow, they played Houston, okay?
Well, hey, Houston.
Houston the last few weeks has been the Houston.
New England? What? New England? The New England game? Houston? New England?
Yeah, New England's 2-4.
Okay, well, Houston, you have a solution.
That was an entertaining game last night, though.
Yeah, it was. We're talking about the Patriots and Cowboys? Yeah. Diggs is good, huh? Diggs is pretty good.
Thank God for Diggs.
How does he have more touchdowns than his brother does?
It's crazy. He's got 7 picks, and he does have more. He has more touchdowns than Stephon Diggs, Allen Robinson, and others.
Come on, Allen Robinson.
Allen's he's in lifetime purgatory when it comes to a receiver.
Is there any other player you feel? I mean, is there a guy? Can he catch a break though?
No, I feel bad for him.
Hopefully Justin Fields figures it out and they can give him the ball. But man,
we tried to tell him to come back here. We call pass from Trevor Lawrence.
Well, you had the whole PowerPoint thing set up.
I mean, we had it set up.
But then what'd you do though? Then you talk smack about Penn State, and that was a nail in the coffin right there.
I wonder if Franklin leaves now. That will unlock the door for him to come back. This is on a franchise tag, isn't he?
Yeah,
pretty sure.
For the 5th year in a row, it seems like in Chicago. Whatever.
By the way, you guys made fun of me for trying to pick the Bengals in Survivor against the Lions. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I did. That was. I did not expect that showing.
Casey, congratulations on that one.
Here's what happened.
He picked Dallas.
Oh, he did.
I got scared when the Jags won, and I said the Lions are going to win too. Yeah. So I pulled it, and then I was like, crap, and I didn't want to use. I didn't trust the Colts for some. I didn't trust any of the obvious games. So I was like, all right, Dallas. And I thought it was at home for Dallas, so I was like, I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
And then I turned on the game. I'm like, what in the world is this?
Ooh, man.
And then I sweated it out the whole time. And
yes, you did. And by the way, I got some heat from Cowboys fans after the fact, of course, because I said they put on a clinic on how to lose, which they did.
They really did.
I mean, they cost them. They really should have scored 50-something points in that game.
Yeah.
They have really good offense. I mean, if you do that to a Belichick defense, and by the way, again, we talk about this kind of stuff around here, and Belichick's earned the equity, but they traded away Stephon Gilmore. They could use him.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I mean, they could really use him.
Is that move kind of surprising to you that they traded Stephon Gilmore away?
I just think they did him a favor.
Okay.
I really do.
Okay.
I think they did. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the whole.
But see, I feel like a move like that is all right, we're kind of just throwing the season's not winnable, so we'll just let him,
I feel like there's an element of that. I mean, I think they know they're not really that good, so get some drafts, start turning it over.
Thank God I picked them to go to the playoffs this year. Good call,
you're a little concerned about Sam Darnold now, Casey.
Casey, the answer is yes.
Never in doubt. Just like the Cowboys the other night.
First play of the game, interception. And I'm not going to lie, I was doing DFS. I'm like, you know what? Casey always talks about Sam Darnold. It's at home.
Yeah.
Playing Minnesota. Mike Zimmer doesn't have a good control of that defense. It's going to be a Sam Darnold day. And I went with that.
Hey,
well, how did that work out?
First off, get back to me when you count all the drops. Go count the drops. There's a ton of them.
I counted the interception the first play of the game.
It's one bad.
Give me one of those games.
Only one of Robbie Anderson's hands plays, but it's one bad throw in the beginning game. He leads them down to get into overtime.
Sure.
Like he can't play defense, offense, O-line, receiver, tight end, kicker, punter. He can't do it all.
Nope. Only Christian McCaffrey can do that.
You know,
he's on IR.
Who won the golf?
I don't know. We're out of time.
I guess we're out of time. We'll talk about that tomorrow. There's a new butcher in town.
Careful now. Careful now.
Hey, James Robinson on Jags Report Live coming up tonight on Fox 30, 7 o'clock at Sneakers. Come on out. Say hello. We'll be there in an hour. And you can listen to tonight's Titans-Bills game. Should be a good one on ESPN 690, part of our Westwood One coverage. And go Red Sox in Game 3, by the way. Have a good night. We'll talk to you tomorrow.